evening, everyone. Welcome along to the Sports Corner Live for the showpiece event of the Champions League. And I can hear an echo in the background, but I don't know who it is. But it's the showpiece event that is Manchester City versus Chelsea. That is going on tonight, the Champions League Final, all English affair. Of course, we've had a brilliant week of action with the finals. We had the playoffs earlier on. We had the Europa League at the midweek section with the incredible penalty shootout. Let's hope we get an incredible all-English final in the Champions League. Kickoff is just 5 minutes away, and I'm delighted to say I'm not on my own for this afternoon and this evening's action. I am joined by Rowan and KL. How are we both doing?
I'm doing great, mate. You?
I'm not doing too bad, thank you very much. I can see the thumbs up from KL. How are you doing, mate?
I think I'm echoing, so I'm just going to wait.
Let me try now. Turn your mic back on again, and I'll keep talking. It's a very slight echo. I don't know what it is, but Kale's going to sort that out in the meantime. Hopefully we don't have him disappear. Might just be two of us. But no,
we'll get Kale. We'll get Kale no matter what. We'll get him on a FaceTime call. And I'll put him on my shoulder here.
Like how they did at Eurovision. Get a little body for him and put him on the screen. Yeah. But no, we've got, 3 minutes until kickoff, not long away. Players in the on the bottom of the screen if you are watching on with us, of course, in the tunnel, getting ready to start. Rowan, before we look at the lineups for this game, City-Chelsea, two teams. You watch Chelsea on the other side of the bracket throughout the knockout stages. Do you think they've got a chance to beat City tonight? Because City are the obvious favourites.
It's going to be very tough. Don't get me wrong, but if they can expose, when we look at the lineups, that obvious midfield difference, it's a big chance that City are a force this year. But Chelsea, I think, have got, again, anything can change. I don't think that people today thought Cologne would do as big of a comeback. I think people said Cologne might come back. Don't think people thought they would go on to win 5-1. I don't think many people would have said in that Europa League final, everyone was going, it was Manchester United's game to lose. Everyone's saying here, it's Manchester City's game to lose. Chelsea can just go under the radar. At the end of the day, as a thing, you've got Mason Mount, who has maybe hit the form of his career. He's rocked him in value. You've got Timo Werner. Yes, he may have thingy, but my God, does he know how to get in behind the defence? If he can get his timings correct tonight, we could see a different City. Kai Havertz, again, is a world-class player. Your centre-backs have probably been their most key thing. I mean, against Real Madrid, Thiago Silva, Christensen and Rudiger ran the show. They contained probably one of the best strikers, like centre-forwards in the world right now, in Karim Benzema. They definitely are a solid side. They've got Mendy back. They could do it. It's all to do with which Manchester City we're seeing today.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, thinking about it, you've actually watched both because you watched City as well against Dortmund. So you've seen both sides of the teams already and how they played. Bad flashbacks. We don't want to remember that. Kyle's in the building as well. How are we doing, Kyle? Welcome to everybody in the stream. We'll go through the lineups now. KL, should we see if the echo's gone? I can't hear it as much anymore. You're all good.
There we go. Honestly, I feel like we should work at tech support. Thank you, guys.
You've done very, very well. You've done very well. KL, look, I know you're not a massive fan of Manchester City. Not your favourite team in the world. Let's have a look at the teams and we'll talk through it because you'll see in the City side today, there is one clear, notable person that's made it in that I think a lot of people are surprised about, Raheem Sterling. Do you think he deserves to be in the final or do you think someone like Ferran Torres has been very harshly dropped for the final?
I think for me, it's a surprise that there's not a holding midfielder of any kind in the starting 11. No Fernandinho, no Rodri. Look at the midfield three, and they're all out-and-out playmakers. There's no holder. So I am surprised that Sterling's made it in ahead of one of them. I don't know if Ferran Torres was ever going to really start this game, but I am surprised Sterling's made the starting 11. It's fair to say it's an unimpressive campaign from the Englishman, but what a way to right the wrongs of your whole season by getting a goal in the Champions League final.
Yeah, exactly. You can see the lineup on the screen, 4-3-3 today, as Kale said. No holding midfielder for Man City tonight. The usual back four that they've pretty much had for the whole season in the UCL. Zinchenko, Diaz, Stones and Walker, the back four. Midfield three, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Silva. Must feel like tonight Pep must think that they're going to have a whole host of possession, considering he's playing three attacking midfielders pretty much. Gundogan probably going to be asked to be a bit of a holding midfielder at times. Phil Foden's on the left. It's actually De Bruyne who's up top, not Sterling. So technically, I think it could be a 4-2-3-1 and Sterling's in behind De Bruyne, but we'll have to see, of course, the game goes on. Riyad Mahrez also on the right-hand side. I think it's Phil Foden on the left and Sterling. God knows where he's going to be. He's going to be somewhere on the pitch. We'll have to find out where he is. You can see on the bench tonight, Scott Carson, maybe. There could be an injury for Ederson and Steffen. And then Carson will have to come on. Who knows? It's the Champions League final. Anything can happen. But of course, the most notable player on the bench tonight is Aguero. Final ever game for Manchester City. Could he maybe be the difference maker on what should be a fantastic night of action? As for Chelsea, now BT's going with a 5-4-1 for Chelsea today. I think personally he's going to be free at the back formation, as they have done for most of the season. Edouard Mendy is in goal, back three of Reece James, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. You've got Chilwell and Azpilicueta as the two wide fullbacks / midfielders, with Jorginho and N'Golo Kante as the two midfielders. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz on the left and the right-hand side as the forwards. Timo Werner up top. BT saying it's a 5-4-1. I, as I said before, think it's a free at the back formation. Now, for the case of this stream today, we are going to sync up all together. So what we'll do is if you get to 30 seconds and you guys pause the stream at 30 seconds, then we'll all get set and started at the same point. And everybody else who wants to join us can do the same. So I've paused at 30. Just give everybody a second. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play. There we go. So 32, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be for everybody else who wants to set up with us. Hopefully, we don't have any issues like last time, because we were saying before the stream, we can remember when we did the Europa League final, it took us 5 or 6 different times to actually sync up all together. But luckily, we're all sorted out. We're all ready to go. And we should be on for a firecracker of a game. Guys, as the game's going on, score predictions. Rowan, I'll let you go first.
I really want to back the underdogs in this. I want to back Chelsea. I know KL will probably want to go Chelsea as well, but if we're being realistic, I'm going to go, I think it's going to be a lot closer. I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester City. But I think the first half might be dead and then the teams will switch on for the second half. I'll go 3-1 Manchester City.
3-1 Manchester City. Kieran, what are we going for?
I think I'll go 2-0 Man City. I'm having problems. Give me 2 minutes, lads.
No, it's all right. It's okay. I'm going to go 2-2. We're going to go to extra time. I've got a feeling we're going to have a few goals in the game. We want goals. But I'd like to see a penalty shootout again, because we didn't stream the Europa League. We had a few issues with doing that. But we did watch the game, didn't we? And the penalty shootout was certainly making up for not the best final in the world. Yeah,
I mean, when we were sat in that bar, and when every penalty step, surely one of them has got a miss, and it just wasn't happening. Then I think, unfortunately, it had to come down to the goalkeepers, and it's probably the worst position you want, innit? Timo Werner's done nice here.
At least he's not offside as well.
I know, he actually stayed onside this time. I mean, he's the man who's... What?
No, go for it, because I was just going to...
See, this is chemistry.
You go.
I mean, we just saw John Stones. I mean, what a season he's having, really. I think last year and the year before really started coming to his own, but this year, him and Ruben Dias has sort of been a force to be reckoned with at the back, haven't they?
Player of the year as well, Dias. And I guess tonight, when you look at both defences, I'd say specifically for Chelsea, if there's one defender you're going to want to look to really get this team motivated, is the man who was in the final last year. Thiago Silva should be the leader at the back, should be the man who organises the side. And I guess as well, you could say the other defender that has been in a final, Cesar Azpilicueta. This is his second final as a Chelsea player. He has the experience as well to lead from the back and organise this team. It's going to be a tough night, I think, for both sides, because, when we had that last English final, when it was Liverpool-Spurs, I think Liverpool were an attacking team. Spurs were a very compact, organised side. Personally, these two attacking teams, Mount's in, could be a chance here, ball flicked into the box and into the hands of Ederson, who I was going to say is the only goalkeeper, I think, in the world, bar Neuer, that you wouldn't mind taking a penalty and feel confident about.
To be fair, Rulis the other night, I'd get him on every pen. That were a quality finish, that.
Yeah, did you see the training, Ederson just taking penalties as a precaution. I mean, if you're City and Chelsea watching that game, if you're Ederson and if you're Mendy, in the back of your head going, please don't, please. We saw De Gea miss last time. Imagine if we get to keepers again, that would be incredible.
First ever shootout in Europa and Champions League history that had gone to goalkeepers. There'd never been as many penalties taken, which is crazy when you think about it. I mean, Carl's put... how you doing, Carl? Oh, you're good as always. Vernon needs to have a big game tonight. Ben's in the building as well. Hope you're good, Ben. And then Tubbs has put false 9 again for City tonight. False 9 seems to work for them, though, doesn't it? I don't know what it is. You know, this season, I think we thought we'd see a lot more of Aguero at the back end of the season to scare a goodbye. And realistically... he's not actually started as many games as I thought we would probably see him play.
No. Go on, Rob, mate.
What way to end, if City do it tonight, what way to end your Manchester City career with a Champions League thingy? He said it, didn't he? I will only leave Manchester City until we either reach or win the Champions League final. Well, this is the time, and it's the best place to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, Mahrez as well. I know you've just seen him on the screen right now. I guess he's been the key player, hasn't he, in the attack for the Champions League. I guess you could say Foden as well to a certain extent, but he's playing as a midfielder tonight. It is a three-man midfield. It is Foden, who's on the right-hand side in the midfield. Sterling's on the left. Mahrez is on the right, with De Bruyne acting as the false 9, although Bernardo Silva, another one of those players that's going to make marauding runs forward. Bernardo Silva, he's another one that hasn't played a great deal of games for City. I'm quite surprised he's in there tonight.
Yeah, and another one is kind of a little bit like Sterling, I would say, in terms of the level of season they've had. Has been uninspired, but they do set themselves high standards, so that's obviously something to take into account. But I agree with you, Josh. I think out-and-out goal scoring, it'll be Riyad Mahrez is the main threat, apart from Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, he's been really, really key this season. Edouard Mendy going in for the sliding tackle there, nearly trying to wipe out his own player 6 minutes into the match. But referee tonight, Spaniard referee, known for games in La Liga, quite a hefty ref on the yellow cards. Loves to break down play quite a lot, which is the most frustrating thing about him. But he's got a very good reputation in UEFA competitions. I think we will see a couple of yellow cards come out tonight. I don't think this referee will mess about as such, and if there is a few feisty tackles early on, he won't be worried to bring out the yellow cards. As well, 2 English midfielders, Foden and Mount. Going to see them at the Euros in a few weeks' time. The constant question that always gets asked, I think, between Chelsea and City fans is which one is the better player right now? Who are we going for?
It's a tough question, innit? It really is. I prefer Mason Mount, personally. But if we go... I don't know, it's tough. Because... I'll go Mason Mount. I'll go in.
I'm with you. I think in terms of Mason Mount, he's consistently started longer. Like in terms of he's been a mainstay in that Chelsea team. Obviously had that year at Derby under Frank Lampard, who was starting then as well. And I think I saw a stat the other day like, Foden's won this many things. But I will just stop.
I thought that was offside. I thought that was offside there with Sterling.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to stop. I was like, it seemed offside, and then he took it round Mendy, and I'm not sure what's been given to the corner.
It was way on.
Yeah, good ball there from Edison. We know what he's like. Sweeper keeper, very good with the ball. Moves the ball long over the top. Sees the run of Sterling, who makes a really good run. And in the end, that will be a corner for Manchester City and a good opportunity, you feel, here to maybe get something early doors.
It's a really good save by Mendy, actually, because he goes already down to ground. And then to stop that back heel from Sterling, which looks like he's going to head on target. Corner comes in. And there is a foul in the box. Zinchenko.
I think we're going to see a few fouls tonight. I'm not going to lie. But like going back to the point we were saying earlier, I think for me, I will go Mount. I think Foden is very, very, very close to overtaking him. But I sat there before and thought to myself, it was only 2 or 3 years ago, Mount was in the playoff final for Derby. Mm-hmm. And the progression he's had as a player, and credit to both of them because they've both progressed as players, but for Mount to go from a championship playoff final 2 or 3 years ago to a Champions League final and play a critical part as well, like Foden has, I think we've got a good future with the midfield for England. We've got a very good future because we've got Bellingham as well, who can go in there and do a job. I'm just trying to think of any other young midfielders. Rice as well. Another one, Maddison. We're sorted for the future.
Well, as I would like to say, I agree, apart from the fact we managed to mess up Beckham, Gerrard and Lampard. So I'm not going to say anything because we managed to, and Scholes as well. So.
Timo!
Oh, I think he's got to do better there. Sorry to jump in.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm ahead. That's all.
Well, Sterling's coming forward here. He's going to make the run. He's on the left wing. Plays the ball in. Could be a good chance. Just a good sliding tackle made from Chilwell to cover his man. Ball's going to come back to Zinchenko. Sterling on the left wing. Good start here from City. You could say an equally good start from Chelsea. Here's Gundogan, edge of the box. Back to Foden, back to Gundogan. And you can see how rigid that Chelsea defence is tonight. There's about 6 or 7 of them really tightly compact. It's going to be Zinchenko into Sterling. Good patient build-up from City. Tries to get it into Mahrez, doesn't in the end, and it will go out of play.
Today, I really do want to back Timo Werner. Just after the season he's had, I just want him to, get that moment. He had it against Real Madrid. It was a lucky goal. I want him to score a good goal today. And that was such a prime just got it stuck at his feet, didn't it?
It comes off his other foot as well. So unlucky because you think in a situation like that, usually 9 times out of 10, Timo Werner's probably going to put that in the back of the net. But I guess confidence-wise, do you think it's lacking a bit, or do you just think it's bad fortunes this season more than anything?
He's just had a really unlucky season. I know as a striker, sometimes you've got to time your runs, and that is important, obviously. But some of I just feel like when things aren't going your way, they really aren't going your way in the case of Timo Werner. And a man who scored 26 goals and 14, I think, of them ruled out. It's just a rough ride, and you can't do much more.
Shows a bit of desire, at least. At least you know he wants to score. On the other, unlike some strikers, in fairness, I'm going to say I don't know what I was going to say. I just feel sorry for it. I don't know. For me, he's a player that I look at and just go, oh, it'll be better, Timo. It will. And I hope next season I think he's got so much slander this year. And I think at points it has been fair enough. But what was it, 26 goal contributions?
Basically, it said 26 goals. However, 12
going to stop for a second. There's a slip.
Yeah.
Werner's on the wing. Slip from John Stones. Played into Kante, who pretty much nearly slips himself. Balls away. And a chance there where both players have slipped for both sides.
And he's just the man you don't want making late runs into the box. He's no Lampard, he's Kante. He scores 1 goal every 3 years. I remember the one he scored against United, and everyone just feels happy for him because he never gets in on the act. But he's important tonight because he's got to keep tabs of all them creative midfielders, and he's going to be the one that Chelsea will be relying on to stop, to nip the attacks in the bud before they even get going.
Oh, I thought you were onside.
I thought that was onside.
I really did. Because Chilwell makes his run early. I mean, late.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he made a late run, but perfectly timed it more than anything. Bernaldo's in the building. I do, mate. He's put, come on, City. And then Carl as well has put Werner, his crap. Easy goal that should have been. This is a shame for him.
Shame, but he's got another, how long? I can't do 78 minutes. And I'm sure he'll get another
additional time as well.
I'm sure he'll get another opportunity in this game.
I don't think he's a bad start. I think there's been a good pace end-to-end so far. I guess you could say it's arguably already better than the last English final we had, where it was just a boring 2-0 win.
I'll be honest with you, Josh. It's no Cologne, Holston, Kiel.
No. We had about 5 goals in that game by this point.
Oh, what a start that was. I've never seen a start to a game since Chelsea-Tottenham back in the Champions League that started with that many goals.
See, if that was how the Champions League final was today, we'd be sat here in absolute awe. But that was a mental game, crazy game.
That was great.
Well, there's a good chance here. There might be an opportunity. Chance if Timo Werner puts it towards Ederson. And it's another opportunity where I nearly choked. And Werner should have probably made it 1-0.
Yeah, he goes near post. It's a tighter angle. And I think, to be fair, I think Ederson will have had it covered. And fair play to Thomas Tuchel, being the chorus man on sidelines.
Might be another chance here. Timo Werner, this time at the near post, hits the side netting. And
for a second that's the one. Sorry, lads. I'm ahead. My apologies.
Do you want to see cocktails? Are you all good?
I'll be honest, mate. It freezes so much. And then I've had about 7 EE adverts in the middle of the game. Yeah, legitimately. I've been watching the game. I've got an EE advert. I'm like, what's he called? I can't remember.
Kevin Bacon.
That's the one. Yeah, can he bugger off for a bit?
Bernala's but Werner's scared to score. He could have genuinely had a hat trick in 14 minutes. He could have genuinely had a hat. Now there's an opportunity from the set piece, and Rudiger's up, Thiago Silva's up, Havertz is up, who I think had a brilliant season towards the back end, and credit to him. So ball's lofted into the box, comes towards Ederson, and it's the most comfiest save I think the Brazilian's going to have all week.
Right, I've got an. What minute are you at? Just so I can. I've got an ingenious plan.
Hold up, I can tell you.
Might be an opportunity. Oh, I'm okay there. I think
15th. 01, 02, 03, 04,
right.
05.
Let me know when you guys get to 15:30.
Okay.
I'll slowly get there.
Dale's I know 15 seconds of
I was going to say I'm not going to say out, but please don't forget. And it gets like 15:43.
4 seconds, 3,
27,
2,
28, 29, 30, 31, 32. There we go.
We're back. I've just decided to go to simpler means. Go by the phone.
The thing is, it's such a shame that we've literally missed all doing the stream together by like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame because we've all been able to have just got together and done it in one room. But it's something we'll hopefully be able to do next year. But Carl's put in the chat while it's gone a little bit quiet. Do you think if Tuchel doesn't win the Champions League, could his job be at risk knowing the way that Abramovich works?
No, he's not had it for a full. He's not even had it for a full season yet, has he? So I think he's got more than enough time. And I'll feel bad because you say Werner's unlucky. If Tuchel gets to back-to-back finals with a different team and loses them both, he's a bit unfortunate as well, to be honest.
I do think as well, Abramovich probably would have never expected Chelsea to have made the Champions League final either. I don't even think he would have thought they'd have been here from the way that the season started.
Well, Kante.
Balls lofted to Kante, and for a second there, thought we were going to have a little bit of a moment for Kante to get into the score sheet. It'd be brilliant. I think the one person, as you said, Kieran, where everybody wouldn't mind him scoring is N'Golo Kante.
Oh, definitely. And I'll tell you what, to out-jump Diaz, I know Diaz lost the flight of it a little bit, sneaks in at the back post. He was up well, credit to him.
See the fans there as well.
Chelsea made like a sneaky little run, haven't they? In terms of first round, Atletico Madrid is a tough side, and they're the La Liga champions, and they beat them. Then they beat Porto, who were coming off an amazing comeback, and then obviously beat Real Madrid, who were one of Spain's finest. I think it's been a very successful sort of run for them. It really has.
I think they got the good side of the draw. I guess at the end of the back end of the competition, there wasn't really a great side, but the one side I think everybody wanted was the side that Porto was in, because Real Madrid hadn't been as good this season, so they were prone to being beat. And obviously Porto, I think a lot of people would have wanted to face them anyway, regardless of the fact they beat Juve. So I think Chelsea got the good side, because I think had they come up against PSG, I think PSG could have beat them.
I don't know, because when you get PSG under pressure, they're another team that has a tendency to basically get a little bit overdone by the situation sometimes. Like they last year they were very impressive until they got to final, and we saw them against City. They just lost their heads. They just started going in for stupid tackles, and I think I know who got sent off. Was it Idrissa Gana in the first leg, and can't remember in the second leg. Probably someone else, but
Yeah,
I just think more than anything, City are just so attacking that for Chelsea, they're a little bit more preserved, and it might have allowed PSG a bit more of an opportunity to not necessarily push numbers forward, but have more opportunities than they had against City. But maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, to tell you what, Reece James actually has had a decent start. We saw him early, tried to play it through in the midfield, but we saw it then when we were just having that conversation. His ability there, it was to take out, pass forward, and then still get a nice little ball through to Kante, thing which led to that Werner chance earlier. Big, in fairness, it's a young side for Chelsea today.
I think we're blessed with Reece James for the future. I really do think we've got not another Trent player, but somebody who's got a lot of versatility. You know, could play as a right back, plays as a centre back, could probably play him as a midfielder if you needed to. I think he's a very under the radar star for the future. I don't think he gets talked about enough for the role that he does for Chelsea because we've got the likes of Wan-Bissaka and Trent that do the work.
He's just in an unfortunate position on the pitch. Not even an unfortunate position because, you know, there's plenty of spaces available in the England lineup. But the fact that, as we've mentioned about the plethora of talent we have at fullback, Max Aarons doesn't even get a shoe in, but he's a brilliant future right back, you know. So I agree with you, Josh. And I tell you what, this system might bring out the best in him as well with the three centre backs next to Azpilicueta, who's been, to be fair, one of the most underrated players in arguably Premier League history. He's been so good for so long, Azpilicueta.
Yeah. You think about how long he's been in the team for. You know, he's one of the first names on the team sheet, I think, every single year, no matter which manager comes through the door. And credit to him because it just shows what a professional he is. Boya Keon, welcome to the stream. He's asked, is there an app where I can watch the match for free?
YouTube.
If you're in the UK, I don't know whether it works abroad, but if you're in the UK, it's on BT Sports YouTube. If not, then I guess VPN-wise, if you can get it for UK, BT's YouTube will have it on, so you should be all right to get it on there. But if not, stick in here. Stay with us, because we'll be covering it for you.
It's lovely for Manchester City. Oh, he's offside, never mind.
Yeah, I think he would have been offside, but tries to get the ball across, and a good recovery tackle again by that man, Azpilicueta.
MB's in the building spot. Fantastic Robobs. Come on, City.
Robobs. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, look who's on the bench. What a player.
The man who's going to score the winning goal.
Wow.
We've
got a goaded moment. When he comes on.
I hope he comes on. I hope it gets to a point where, you know, if there's... I said earlier, I said 2-2 extra time. If we get to like extra time and they are looking to get a winner, I really want to see Giroud come on and score the winner because then that man has got, I think that'll be his second UCL trophy to his name, I think. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I don't know because I don't think he joined Chelsea when Di Matteo was in charge.
No, it weren't before that. It might be his first, and then it'll be like
he probably has a UEL.
He has two UEL, I think.
Yeah, because I know it's hard to figure out when he moved because obviously he was at Arsenal, and let's be fair, he won nothing with Arsenal apart from an FA Cup.
He had one UEL trophy with Sarri, and I think he had one more. But I can't remember if it was because Wenger never won it, did he?
No. Oh well. When did Arsenal?
Well, that's what I'm wondering because they lost against Atletico Madrid in the semis a few years ago. I remember that, and then lost to Chelsea.
Giroud doesn't have a Champions League medal.
So this would be his first one.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he has a Europe. Yeah, he probably does have one with Chelsea.
Europa League 2018-19.
Yeah, sorry, season.
He was also the top scorer in that Europa League season.
Beautiful. And he'll be up there for top scorer as well this season, quite impressively as well.
Talent, mate. Pure talent.
Also, he's been a runner-up twice in the FA Cup. Bless him.
Yeah, he's won an FA Cup as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think he's won 2.
Yeah, I was going to say he's won plenty. He's not in terms of thing. And also, wasn't he part of the Montpellier Ligue 1 winning side as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a World Cup medal as well. Might get a Euros. He might get a Euros medal this year. He has got a lot of medals under his belt.
He won it 3 times, the FA Cup with thing, with Arsenal. So
could have had another one under his belt this year with Chelsea. He could have had the treble, realistically speaking, I think.
Yeah,
we'll keep it at 2 because I'll forget the time we went 2-0 up. I don't even. Oh, this close, man. This close.
At least you got to an FA Cup final, Kieran.
No, we're not doing this. We're not doing
something that many clubs a dream of getting to.
Yeah, no. That was a great season. That stayed in the Premier League, got into Europa, got knocked out in the qualifier, but it was a nice trip.
You got on a abroad trip.
Yeah, I think we got through the first round, got knocked out in the second. Anyway, enough about us. I think one time we played. I feel like Cas Open. Did we play Cas Open?
Oh, legends! Belgium's
I'll have a look at half time.
I will give credit to Chelsea. I think they've done very well in this first 25 minutes to just make sure that Man City don't get much of the ball. They've not had many opportunities, and I think I wonder if that's the game plan. How long can we keep City quiet for before some of the other big boys come on and Pep tries to change the game up?
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of the storyline coming in was, the fact that Chelsea had beat Man City the last 2 times they played. Has Tuchel got Pep? That's why I purely think Man City are going to win this final. I don't think he'll get one over on him 3 times in a row.
The last time that happened, I believe, was early 2000s. It's been nearly 20 years since someone's beat City 3 times in a row. So that kind of tells you roughly.
I mean, I know Man United have a decent record against Man City recently. They've not been too bad against them, but I just can't see it.
Might be a chance from this free kick. Ball's lofted into the box, comes towards Havertz, doesn't get there in the end. Werner's got the header back. Might be an opportunity to reinvigorate an attack here. Comes all the way back, and Kante's going to have to play it back to Eduard Mendy in goal. And not really what you want to do, is it, from a free kick in the attacking half all the way back to the keeper? But
it's surprise, Werner was offside as well there. So couldn't even get involved.
Typical. You'd have thought a player of his quality would have learned.
I think you were right, Josh. I think Chelsea are looking to slow it down. Every time they get the ball, they're not interested in that quick kind of thing. They're going to try and get the game at their pace, because if you go toe-to-toe attacking with Man City, you're going to lose. They'll pick you off easily. So I think you are right with the way that Chelsea are going very slowly. They're setting the positions. You can tell the shape. It's an easy 5-2-3 for them. And you can tell because they all move as one.
Yeah, they don't have the players, in my opinion, that are quick enough to match City. I think they've got like Werner and Havertz and that, but he's a player who is quick. It's Sterling up against Reece James, and credit to James, he's done very well. But a few calls for a corner from the City players. Referee has decided not to go with the words of Sterling De Bruyne and give it as a goal kick. But as you said, they're going to slow the game down. I think try and keep it nice and preserved. And just hope somebody like Timo Werner, who's could have easily had the match ball in his hands by now, a chance to just put the ball in the back of the net. If not, is Tammy Abraham on the bench? Let me have a check.
De Bruyne, it's a good ball in.
Not right now.
What a challenge. Is that good challenge?
Yeah, the masked man, Antonio Rudiger. Again, Foden's first big chance. Great sliding tackle by Antonio Rudiger 1-on-1. And could have been the opening goal, but brilliant challenge by Antonio Rudiger. Still wearing the mask. What a man.
Love it.
I just looked as well.
Sorry, go on.
No, sorry. Tammy Abraham's not on the bench either, so they haven't got him to come on, which I think is quite poor. No, just not in the squad.
He's off in it. He's off in the summer.
Where do you think he's going?
Yeah,
I don't know, but he's definitely off somewhere.
I think he's going to stay in the Premier League. I don't think he needs to go back to the Championship. I think you saw with his loan spell at Aston Villa, he can be a very good player in the Championship, but he's good enough to be in the Premier League. He's proven it. Maybe one of the newly promoted sides, but I think he's better than that. I'm thinking maybe the likes of Southampton and that level of team.
Well, how old's Danny Ings? He's 30 whatever now. Or is he still...
for me, it's because they play 2 up top. And they can have Ings and someone else, and obviously Che Adams is up there as well. Maybe someone like that. I'm not sure, but someone down that end of the table.
I would have said Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves.
I think Wolves would be a very good place for him.
Yeah, I think it also depends who comes in though at Wolves, doesn't it? You know, the manager.
I think because he's got a bit of an affiliation with Villa as well in the past, I don't know if he'd want to go there and rattle up the Villa fans.
This is the thing, because obviously Watkins is there right now, and he's had a good season, Watkins, but he can be very wasteful. So I don't know if you want to. You can have two good strikers, don't get me wrong, but it'd be kind of hard for him to break into the starting 11 at Aston Villa. I don't know. It's tough.
It'd be a lot of rotation if you did bring him in. See, he's going to want to play minutes, and which he would deserve.
And a lot of money as well. I don't think he'd be cheap to get because he's still so young. And
he's got wages as well. He's on the Chelsea wages.
I think Brentford will also be counting lucky stars. Do you know that they got promoted today? Because Ivan Toney is another English striker who is he's one of the most sort of informed players right now. And if they didn't go up, he would have been gone immediately. So I suppose at least he's coming into the Premier as well. 'Cause you could look at the teams that have gone up. Norwich got Puke, Watford. Is it Ismail Sarr? Does he play up front?
Shout Pedro, usually. Chance here, they'll both flick towards Mahrez, who just can't get a touch on the ball. And for me, that's probably the first chance we've had in a little while, apart from the Foden block a few minutes ago, where City have had an opportunity to go for own goal.
Not sure how that's not a foul in the middle of the pitch either.
It's Sterling. Goes for the individual effort. Just good to him.
For me, it looked like Timo Werner just got a bit bodied, really, by Gundogan there. I can't say if he got a hit to the face, but I don't know if it'll show me.
It wasn't a 50-50 because it wasn't showed. I feel like that's more of a foul on Werner because he's facing him and sort of giving him a bit of a nudge.
I think we'd have to see again. It's not
they're not showing that again.
Nah.
It's a good pace. I think it's got a decent pace to it so far. Not many chances in terms of opportunities on target, but I think both teams, half an hour in, I think Pepper might be a little bit disappointed, but I mean, you can see Tuchel on the touchline. He's constantly moving, constantly trying to get his players to stick to the positions and things like that. And you can clearly see Chelsea have got a very organised game plan. It's just those little moments where they've got to switch on because they've got key players, City, like De Bruyne, Foden, Mahrez, that can pick a pass out that maybe a Chelsea player couldn't see.
I was wondering Chelsea were going to attack there. Sorry, that's why I didn't say anything.
Same. I mean, both keepers haven't really been tested, like you said. And we had that opportunity by Sterling, went for the backheel Mendy save. We had that Werner one that went press straight at Ederson's hands. I mean, Mendy may have not been playing this game, obviously. He was rested, took off at half-time in the final Premier League game for Kepa due to a little injury, but luckily he's fit and everything. All Chelsea fans will be sort of thanking the lucky stars that Mendy is in today. As good as I think Kepa is a good goalkeeper, Mendy has proved himself to be that number one.
Is Kepa calling to come on if this game goes to penalties? Do you think
he's
having a word in Tuchel's ear to come on?
That would be brilliant, wouldn't he? Tim Krul's it.
I want to see that. If we get to penalties, I want to see that.
I mean, credit, because at least it showed the enthusiasm to want to go in goal. But I guess if you're Mendy, if you've got 120 minutes without conceding to a Manchester City side, I'm pretty sure you'd want to stay in goal until the very end.
100%.
Wasn't Kepa the keeper the last time Chelsea won the UEL? Or was that somebody? Or was it Courtois? Could have been Courtois. I'm trying to think.
It was
because I do remember them going through on penalties against Eintracht Frankfurt, and the goalkeeper in net saved the pen. I can't remember who it was though.
Was it? I'm thinking, was it Caballero who was in goal? It can't be, surely.
No, he had hair. I remember he had hair.
That can't be Caballero then. That's him out of the equation. Let me have a look for you.
In the midfield though, got a man open on left. That's Timo Werner.
It was Kepa, by the way.
Yeah, he saved a penalty against Eintracht Frankfurt in penalty shootout, I remember. But Aspilicueta could go for a cross. He's slowed it down. He's gone to Reece James in the middle of the park.
I mean, only Timo Werner in the box there. And up against Stones and Diaz. Very unlikely to win that header against both of them.
Excuse me. Kante out-jumped Diaz earlier.
That is very true. That is very true.
Good ball in the
building. How are you doing, Russ? Hi, lads. How you doing? Very good, thank you. You're good as always, Russ, mate.
I have to wave above the picture of them. Hello.
But Kante's a bit of a freak, isn't he, in a good way? Like, in terms of... I genuinely think if you told N'Golo Kante, we need you to play like 3 games in a row, can you just go, yes, sure, I'll do it.
He's the definition of a mentality monster.
He is.
Yeah.
He really is. His work rate, his mindset, it's got to be one of the best in world football. I mean, I think Rodri as well. The story that constantly went round when Rodri first moved, that he was living in uni accommodation when he first joined. I think it was... Where was he before? Where was he at? It wasn't Atletico Madrid, was it? Rodri, yeah.
I thought it's Atletico, isn't it?
What was it, Atletico?
Yeah, that's Atletico, mate.
It was Atletico, yeah. So when he was at Atletico, he used to live in uni accommodation. He didn't have a fancy car. He had a Corsa. He'd drive on to Atletico Madrid's training ground with. Like those two players' mindsets are unbelievable.
Yeah.
But Gundogan's gone into the book, and one of the fans is doing the Modeste celebration.
A lot of that is said about De Ligt in it now, because obviously the reports came out that he don't wear fancy clothes or anything. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Kante is a mentality monster, but also the nicest persona I think anyone's ever.
Yeah.
Like, no one hates Kante. Do you know, like, people say no one hates Son, and then he had that streak last year of getting red carded, like in 2 red cards in like 5 games. But it was like, you know what, Kante we can't hate.
You can't.
Yeah, I saw him.
Giroud's warming up.
I'm sorry.
Tuchel's already thinking after 35 minutes, get him on the pitch. Werner's having a shitter. Russ has waved at you, Kieran. You've got to wave from Russ. And then he's put, I'm doing good, thanks, lads. Glad you're all doing well. Thank you very much, Russ. Kyle's put as well, do you think Guardiola could leave City, whether he wins this or not? We changed. What happened then?
Oh, I felt like that group at Eurovision where they got 70 points and they went top for like a day. It would be,
yeah, come on.
Oh, and that's Rowan with 50 points. He's back on top. Oh, no.
Come on. It'd have to be this way. There we go.
Oh, I'm England. We got 0 points.
Oh, Jesus.
We tried our best.
It's not been the most entertaining stuff, but as you say, Josh, I think it's been a good tempoed game in terms of no team has just sat back waiting for it. Chelsea have had their moments, but I think they've been structurally very impressive. You can put Josh in the middle, by the way, Rowan, if you want. I'm okay going back there down. Thank you.
This game will probably come to life when the first goal goes in. There needs to be a goal for this to probably come a little bit more open. Chelsea will be happy probably to take this to extra time and penalties if they need to, if they can keep City from scoring. I just think, is it a case of how long is it before City do put the ball in the back of the net? Or are we going to be sat here, in about an hour and a half's time saying we're at 0-0, we're going to extra time and penalties because Chelsea have sat back, had the odd attack here and there, and City can't break them down?
Oh, well, they've nicked the ball here, and it's N'Golo Kante. He's going through the middle. He's got Werner at left, Havertz at right.
Take on the shot.
It's poor.
He just got stuck in the middle of Zinchenko and I don't know who it was.
Not much he could have done there. I think his only 2 options were to try and curl that around the keeper somehow, which would have been an absolute miracle, or hope that his pass goes in, but De Bruyne is coming forward. Ball played onto the right. Riyad Mahrez, we know what he's done this season in the Champions League. Got a bit of magic, and he tries to flick a ball into the box, but there's no one there, and it's into the hands of Mendy.
I think that right there epitomises the worry for Chelsea when they do push men forward in the fleeting attacks that they do have. If it comes to nothing like it did there, I think Havertz, maybe if he goes with the right, he gets a shot on target, but nothing much else. So I agree with the decision, but then they've got 5 on City's 5 that are attacking, so you've got to watch out if your Man City is, it looks like Thiago Silva's day is over.
No wonder why Giroud was warming up. They're sticking him at centre-back.
Would be Kurt Zuma come on?
Probably Christensen, I think.
Christensen's not playing, is it?
That looks like Zuma.
Christensen playing out there. They're playing the back 3, are they?
They're playing the back 3, yeah.
Azpilicueta, Rudiger and Silva.
Yeah, I forgot that Azpilicueta is playing the centre half.
Yeah, I saw him talking to the medical staff earlier, but I thought he was going to be able to continue, but it looks like he's not. Do you know what I want him to do, Josh? or in Rowan as well. Do you know during the final, Ronaldo? Yes, that is exactly what I'm going to say. Get on that touchline and start cheering your team. I know he's obviously heartbroken. This is his second final in as many years again for him.
Yeah, he'll be there next season, luckily.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a big boost for him. I think Christensen, though, to be honest, very harshly left out of this final only because he was injured. I think he's had a quality season for Chelsea, and I think had he have been fully fit, he would have been in that team tonight with Thiago Silva. But you don't want to come off in a Champions League final, do you?
No, but
go on, mate.
You've got a voice from the touchline, at least. Another experienced head. I know he hasn't won a Champions League, has he? But he's been in these situations before. When you go into that dressing room, I'm sure he will be a person who will stand up and tell everyone what is happening and what they need to do. And even if he's not on the pitch, I'm sure he'll be vocal.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the players in world football that's got the most accolades. Or at least in the top 10, 15. He's won everything that you possibly could in France, Italy, England. He's won, potentially could have a Champions League medal over his shoulder by the end of the night. Chance here, though, ball lofted towards Timo Werner, who is actually onside for once. But his pass is just a little bit too weak. And it's not been the most enjoyable first half.
Is it me, or have City been off step? And I don't know whether it's just because we haven't seen that relentless attack that we used from City, but
I think that's more plaudits to Chelsea. I think Chelsea are infuriating them, I think.
And I think there's one blatantly obvious problem with this City side that's holding them back, is the fact that they probably should have had the holding midfielder in so the other players could push a little bit further forward, because you're going to have at least one of the midfielders having to think, I'm going to have to stay back in this situation. And maybe there's I don't know, I'm guessing here, but maybe there's a lack of communication on who stays back. If Gundogan wants to make a run forward, is De Bruyne going to have to be off forward and one that pushes back? And then, obviously, when Chelsea do come forward, you're going to be a little bit more prone to allowing them to push forward because someone like Foden's not going to be as good as tackling. So I would have said at half-time, probably take off one of the midfielders and bring on a Rodri or a Fernandinho and have that holding midfielder in there to break the play up.
I think in the attacking part of the pitch, there's so many people for City that do the same thing in terms of the way they play. Like Bernardo Silva, obviously, he's dropping a bit deeper tonight, and he's a bit more like the Gundogan. But earlier in his career, he was very similar to the likes of Foden and De Bruyne, and that's the way he's used to playing. And maybe they are lacking a focal point, but I don't think City should get worried because, by all accounts, they've not been troubled either in this first half. I think it's been a very easy night for the goalkeepers, really. Not much to do.
No, I do think Pep will make a change. I think he will take off Silva and probably bring on a Fernandinho or a Rodri. Whether that's straight away at half-time, probably not. He might give it 10 or 15 minutes and then make the change. But I think when you look at one player who has bossed it so far, it's Kante, and he's the holding midfielder for Chelsea. So maybe if you match them up and get somebody like a Rodri or Fernandinho on, I think that it could make for a more interesting game.
I think when he's intercepted the ball from either Pro City pass, there has not been that Rodri Fernandinho, as you're saying, to sit there and sort of cover that area.
Chelsea are in, round the keeper. It could be a goal. And Chelsea in the lead. Just like that. It's Kai Havertz who puts the ball in the back of the net, and the 6,000 Chelsea fans at the Estadio de Dragao find themselves 45 minutes away, potentially, from a Champions League trophy.
That is an unbelievable pass. It splits the centre halves. Havertz is right in the middle of, I think it's Diaz and Stones. Ederson comes rushing out like a sweeper keeper. It's unbelievable football. And I'm not sure who made the pass. They're closing in on Mason Mount. If it hits him, that is an unbelievable bit of vision from him.
And it's a perfectly timed goal.
Beautiful goal. It's Zinchenko and Diaz.
That's a lovely, just the way that they dragged across here. The Werner makes that run, and Stones gets fully baited in. Same with Diaz by that. Then Havertz, quick, lovely reactions for him to spot that gap, keep his feet up as well, because he taps it past Ederson, still stays on his feet, which is hard to do, looks up, sorts it in the back of the net. We're looking at 1-0 Chelsea.
And I tell you, Ederson's a very lucky man that he didn't connect with him, because had he have connected with him, red card off, see you later.
Scott
Perfectly
Carson.
timed that. Couldn't have timed that any better. Go in at the break, 1-0 up. City are going to have to change something now to get back into it. And a ball like that, as you said, Kieran, just splits the defence open.
It's absolutely beautiful from that front three. That has been the difference in this first half. And I tell you what, as we said earlier, Chelsea's game plan for this first half, to a T, perfect. This is exact. I don't think Tuchel could have written a better script for the first half. But with a minute and a half left of the first half, it might. If we go in, they might go in 1-1. City have still got to react here with a minute to go.
And knowing we Pep, he'll be thinking, let's bring on another 6 attackers. We've got Ferran Torres, Jesus, and Aguero all on the bench. We'll just have no defence and we'll just have 11 attackers on the pitch. But brilliant goal. And a man as well, as we said before, Kai Havertz had a really tough start to life at Chelsea. Took him some time to get used to being in there, and I think that's Fat Frank's fault, to be honest with you. But ever since Tuchel's come in, he's done such a good job to get Havertz playing exactly how I think he would have at Leverkusen. And now he's pretty much rinsing the profits out of him in terms of how well he's played.
And I think that was a comment I was going to make on Andreas Christensen, because under Tuchel, I think Andreas Christensen has been a much improved defender than when he was under Fat Frank in a back four. He's much more suited to being in a back five as James squares up Sterling. And what an end to the first half.
Oh, brilliant. I'll give credit as well to Frank, because he was the one that started the ball rolling. You know, players like James and that wouldn't have got a start and probably wouldn't be playing here today if he hadn't have, given him a chance. But I think what Tuchel's done, as you said, he's done such a good job to get this team from being, fighting for top 4 to having the mindset of we can win things. We are not just a top 6 side. We are a team that could go and win Champions League titles and things like that. And we've got 3 minutes of additional time. We've had about 15 seconds of that additional time. City, you've got some work to do.
What's the thing here? So, do you know, if Chelsea or City win this, who does the spot go to, or does it not go to anyone?
Does it go to anyone?
They both finished top 4 anyway, and it don't matter.
Spot doesn't change anything.
The only thing I think it might affect is maybe Chelsea go into pot 1 because they won the Champions League, maybe. I'm not sure. That it may affect the pots, but I don't think it doesn't affect anything in terms of who makes it or who doesn't. And as we say, Chelsea finishing this second half, I think much the stronger side. And I think it's definitely been a better half for Chelsea than Man City. And they're through again here. Oh, that's poor. That's so poor.
Timo.
Oh.
I've backed you. He's just done that. Bless him.
I think he rushes that. He doesn't need to shoot there. I think he takes a touch and he brings someone else into play. Maybe he's just a bit anxious after a
ball
not
watching.
The best. Yeah, I think he's just a bit anxious to get his shot away. Just take it down, settle a little bit, and a minute and a half to go. And Chelsea are in a fantastic position if they can keep this scoreline the same.
Brilliant position.
Chelsea are gonna be ruining the time that they scored the goal, because they would have loved to probably use that momentum of the first goal. But the second half is about to finish, like you said, and they don't get to use, but at least they get to go into that half with a cushion.
I think it was the perfect time. I agree with Josh. I think this is the perfect time to score. They've been in control of the whole first half.
It needed to set the ball rolling. I think as much as they would want to continue on, have a few more extra minutes, it needed to set the ball rolling, because I think had we gone in at half-time 0-0, Tuchel would have been happy with how they played. I think Pep either way, risky there for a minute, Pep either way would have probably still been pissed off with how they played and would have still made some rectifications on the team, regardless of whether they were 1-0 down or 0-0. I just think I'll be honest with you, I actually think City have been fucking shit. I'll be genuine. Yeah. I think they've been awful. And Pep's got this awful tendency in a final to change something. And I don't know whether he does it with the intention of scaring the opposition and thinking, oh, crap, they've changed it up here. Like tonight, for example, we'll play without a holding midfielder. Will City fans tonight, I know obviously there's a long way to go in this, will City fans tonight look at the game afterwards if they were to lose and point to Pep's decisions as the reason to why they lost?
Well, I think if you look back at that goal, and obviously I don't think that was real. Is that half-time or a foul?
Sorry. Foul. I know, half-time.
Yeah. What I was going to say, if you look at their goal, there's a massive gap in the middle of the park for Mason Mount to thread that ball through. There is no one within 5 yards of that pass. And in this game, if you have a holding midfielder, the likes of Rodri, and you've seen this in the first half with Kante, in that pocket, in front of the back four, and between the likes of De Bruyne and Foden, he's been able to stop the attacks before they even happen. And that, unfortunately for Man City, they don't have anyone on their team like that apart from Rodri and Fernandinho, who are both sat on the bench. But for Tuchel, again, quality first half by Chelsea, I think, in control.
Yeah, massively in control. Cal's put in the chat, obviously celebrating Chelsea had scored. He said Edison, like I said before, very lucky. Could have seen red if he got a stronger touch on the ball with him handballing it outside the box. And I wonder in that situation whether Havertz, had he not got a stronger touch, whether he would have just gone down, relying on the referee giving the card and maybe sending Edison off, and then it could have been a different ball game within itself. But it's Chelsea 1-0 up at half-time in the game. Rowan has decided to vacate the building. He's had enough of the game overall. No, jokes aside, we needed that. We needed it. Yeah. It's not been a good final so far until we got that goal, because now we know when we do go into the second half, we could be in for some fireworks.
I think the way we look at it in terms of, from a neutral point of view, has it been the most entertaining game? No. But if you're a Chelsea fan, that is a really nice, controlled performance from a team that I would say are definitely underdogs in this game. And the way they managed that first half, all they need to do is do exactly the same in the second, because Man City have really not had a sniff. And I know Man City are going to be a different side in the second half. Chelsea will need to kind of, what's it called? Like, resist the wave. I don't know what the saying is. It's a saying, but it's fine.
Yeah, right. They've got to ride the crest of the wave, haven't they? And hold on.
That's it. Ride the wave. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. Not
Rowan,
tame the wave.
I'm guessing, Rowan, you do you know ride the wave?
Don't have a fucking clue, mate. I don't have a clue what that means, but up the Chelsea.
I just wonder as well whether, and I don't think, again, this will be a change which he makes instantly. I wonder whether he moves De Bruyne into midfield and then brings on a Jesus or Aguero up top. So they have got a recognised striker there who's going to make the runs, because obviously the false nines worked at given points, and I think at times it can work pretty all right, having the likes of De Bruyne and Silva transitioning positions. But would someone like an Aguero or Jesus in a game like this, where they're going to make the runs intricately, they're going to know the position to be in to get to the ball, would, for example, the Mahrez cross earlier been better with someone like an Aguero or Jesus in the box to run onto the near post and maybe at least try and get a header on goal, rather than having De Bruyne, who, credit to him, is a brilliant player in his day, but he's not a striker, is he?
I don't know when he makes the changes. Like you said earlier, I don't know if he makes it immediately. Does he get, very reactionary and makes it immediately? Because as you said, he does overthink things on occasion. He's a brilliant manager, but he does have a tendency to overthink. And I think he will have to bring on a striker at some point. And if I'm, from a Chelsea point of view, if De Bruyne does drop into the midfield, I don't know if you remember the game under Herrera, where he just sat and followed, I can't remember who it was, but just followed him all game. Wherever he was, it was under Mourinho. I'd whack Kante on De Bruyne and just follow him round the pitch all game long and just nullify that sort of threat.
The thing is, De Bruyne is quite a reactionary player. We've seen it a couple of times in his sort of Manchester City career where something isn't going as well, something. He doesn't get angry, but he does show a lot of frustration. And it'd be interesting, like you said, if, let's say, you whack Kante on him, would De Bruyne not lose his head, but really not being able to get into the game? Because, first of all, you've got maybe one of the best midfielders marking you in N'Golo Kante. But second of all, just the absolute annoyance of having one of the most, probably, when we talk about athletes, N'Golo Kante is an athlete, of just him following around for another full 45 minutes.
I remember it now. It was Herrera on Hazard for Chelsea, and he just sat on him and didn't let him get involved in the game at all. It was a brilliant game plan by Mourinho, but we'll have to see. I think he will make changes, but it'll be interesting to see if he makes any at half-time, because the midfield did look a little bit unbalanced. They didn't really control the game at all. And for a team with about 7 midfielders in the lineup, you'd have thought they may be able to keep the ball, but it's been mainly Chelsea kind of slowing things down.
what this is like for Pep, I can sort of correlate it to F1 in terms of Pep has got another 45 minutes to make a change or make a pit stop. Now, does he make this pit stop early and hope that that then tyres warm up quick, that Aguero immediately or Jesus immediately gets into the game, or does he wait and then with 20 minutes left, you've got fully fit tyres in Aguero and Jesus against some weak, I don't know, Red Bull tyres in terms of it really is it's not a guessing game at a point, but it's when do you pull the trigger for Pep? And I think that'll be really interesting to when he does that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of questions to be asked, isn't there, at half time for what Pep does. I guess Tuchel's in quite a lucky position that there's going to be no questions over what he does at half time, because if you're a Chelsea fan, you're going to be very happy with how you played so far. But Chris is in the building. How are you doing, Chris? Hope you're good, mate. He's put, I don't have a problem with either team tonight, so I'm not bothered who really wins it, to be honest. And then literally, as you said it, Kieran, Chris did ask, is Pep overthinking again? I felt the lineup was very risky at the start.
Mate, look, who are we to say when he's got the accolades he's got? Let's be real. If we're all being real here, we're not the ones telling what to do and not to do. But that some of the attacks that Chelsea have had, I feel, especially the goal, I'm not sure that comes around if it's not Gundogan as your deepest lying midfielder, because he's not going to snuff out an attack before he even sees it coming. So I do think he should have at least had one holding midfielder in there. But we'll have to see in the second half, because Chelsea have been brilliant. And at the point out on BT now, the shape they've had all game long, you can easily see what they're doing. They're just hard to break down.
That's what I mean, because he's 17 yards between the defenders at the back and the front line. That's how tight and compact they are, which is causing City so many problems. Chris has put, if City don't win Champions League, the City haters will erupt on Twitter. Will, I do, mate. He's put, UCL Final man of the match isn't for every team centre-back.
There we go.
Oh, here we go. And then Chris has put, Tuchel at the moment has Pep's number like Clayton had Van Gogh into the darts last night. Yes, he does. You're not wrong with that. But it's a very, very organised team. And I'd like to see the space in between City's defence and the attack and compare it, because City are a very expansive side. They're very wide. They're very open. And obviously, as we saw, very open in the last few minutes of the first half, because Havertz was able to ram the keeper and slot the ball into the back of the net. And I guess we're seeing the reaction now from London as well, with the fans outside Stamford Bridge tonight, celebrating the fans as well at the Estadio de Grau. And fantastic to see Liam and Noel Gallagher crying, which is always nice. So big dubs there for everyone, as Abramovich is thinking he's probably got about a couple £100 million going into his back pocket in the next few hours if they win this final. But Chris has made a very interesting question. For next season, do you see Tuchel changing from three at the back and changing it up?
Don't change what's not broken.
And I think with the personnel that Chelsea have, do they have one elite centre-back? Like you've got Diaz and Van Dijk? No. So if you have three of them, it allows you fullbacks as well to get more forward. Like Chilwell and James, it allows them to do what they're best at, which is bomb up and down and have that security blanket behind them. This has always been my problem, and I've mentioned it to Rowan 100 times, about Achraf Hakimi. Why did he work so well at Inter Milan? Because they play a three at the back and he's allowed to have that cover behind him. And I think Chelsea are perfect with the three at the back at the moment. And I think don't change it until it starts becoming a problem. And at the moment, it's working fantastically for them. They're a much better defensive side for it. As we're watching that advert, Josh, it's brilliant, this advert, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great advert. And talking about adverts, this is what's still to come on the Sports Corner over the next week. As you can see, of course, we've got the second half of City Chelsea. Thought we good way to get into it. Second half coming up in a few moments' time. Tomorrow, Blackpool take on Lincoln in the League One playoff final. Let's hope we've got more drama like we did, of course, this afternoon. Brilliant game that was. Bank holiday Monday, Morecambe up against Newport. Are we going to see two Welsh sides knocked out at the playoff final? That's from 2:55. We're going to have a break on the channel then. Euro 2020, Turkey, Italy, first game. That's on the 11th of July at 7:55. And then the firecracker, the big game, Wales, Switzerland, Xhaka Bale. That's on the 12th of July. That's the other game after Turkey, Italy. And I knew I'd already put KL's name down for it because I knew that would exactly be the game that he wants to cover. But yeah, we've got the Euros coming up in a few weeks. We'll have like a week's break where there might be some of the A-League games, which Ron will be covering, potentially speaking. And then apart from that, I think there might be the F1 as well, potentially as well. So there is some watch-alongs on the channel, but it'd be a little bit quiet for the next week because, of course, we've got international friendlies that, to be honest, we can't really give a shit about. But apart from that, we then get the Euros. We've got a full month of good football in action, and can't wait for it. I bet you're looking forward for Wales, Switzerland, Kieran.
Genuinely, I can't bloody wait. I'm so excited for Wales. So I think they can get out of the group. You know, I saw the comment earlier, dark horses to win the thing. I'll just say Switzerland. Completely biased, but I'm going to say Switzerland.
I like it. I'm trying to think of a team off the top of my head that are classed as a dark horse. Have you got one, Rowan? Oh, of course, I'm guessing Czech Republic.
Well, I don't have a dark horse, but like, is it bad that I might be back in Czech Republic more than I'd be back in England?
I will say Turkey and Ukraine are two teams to watch on terms of form because they've come into this tournament. Turkey as well. Unbelievable some of the runs, like some of the games they've put together recently. So they're probably I know Turkey are in Switzerland's group, so they've not got a chance in hell of getting out. But that's okay.
I would have probably said as well, maybe a team like a Denmark as well, I think are underdogs. They've got a good side on paper.
I think I remember, like, before the last World Cup, nothing summed up dark horse more than Croatia. It felt like they were in every tournament, they were someone's dark. And now they're kind of more well-known, so we ignore Croatia now. They are a proven side, so they no longer get the dark horse title. But, again, they're a team to watch. Definitely. Chris has put a few comments in the chat. He's put, Rowan has hit the nail on the head. Don't change anything that's not broken. Even though it could be a risk of getting found out next season, only change when found out, in my opinion. And then Chris has put, watch Wales go further than us at the Euros once again. Pessimism, Chris. Optimism is what we want. We're a few weeks away from it, and we're looking forward to it indeed. It's going to be very good indeed. I think Wales have got a really hard group. If I'm being 100% honest, Wales, Switzerland, Turkey, Italy, that's a hell of a group.
That is a mini group of death, that, isn't it? In terms of four, I don't personally class Italy as one of the top dogs anymore. I think they've dropped down in standards, but I think that group is four very good international teams, all put in one. Mm-hmm. And it's unlucky that two of them are going out.
Yeah, it is unlucky for Wales, Italy and Turkey that they're all some of them have got to go out. It's a real shame. Switzerland are finishing bottom, aren't they? They're so finishing bottom.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We'll have to see. But I think we should be too long away from the second half of the of the Champions League final. What potentially, and I'll get the benches up for you guys. As you can see, City's bench tonight. We talked about it very slightly. You've got the two goalkeepers on the bench, a whole other host of players. You've got Laporte, you've got Rodri, you've got Fernandinho, you've got Ferran Torres. What players do you think maybe at some point will come on for Man City and maybe make a difference?
Go on, Rowan, mate.
It's got to be them, one of them strikers, Gabriel Jesus or Sergio Aguero. Just as we mentioned it before, I think the centre backs, all in all, haven't had a bad game. Bar that goal, they haven't had a bad game. The midfield, I don't know though, because again, we've seen that area where Roger Fernandinho would have been, and then they think, but I'm going to say Aguero. I think his final game for Manchester City, he will have something in him. I think sometimes big players rise to big occasions, and you sort of hope to see that with Sergio Aguero. He's been one of my favourite players in the Premier League. I'm a big fan of Sergio Aguero, and I'd love for him to go on high. I can see Gabriel Jesus coming on. The thing is, it's going to be Rodri Fernandinho / Aguero Jesus. It's going to be one of them for sure. I'd love to see if Ferran Torres come on, bring something a bit different, but it's that CDM centre mid, holding midfielder role, or that striker.
So that's City. KL, I guess right now Chelsea aren't going to make any changes in terms of the lineup right now. I'd be very surprised if they did. We've already seen one change, Christensen coming on at the back. They've got the likes of Pulisic, Kovacic, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech. Which players do you think maybe could come on for Chelsea at some point and be a difference maker? Or maybe just waste some time if needed?
Yeah, well, I've got a feeling Christensen will come on at some point. I think he's got something to play in this game. And I think Ziyech, he obviously had a lot to play in the final when he scored against Man City. So I think I'd like to see him at some point. I think he's got bundles of talent. I think he'd be a really important part of this front three. Pulisic as well, if they want to make attacking changes. But again, it depends where they are in the game, Josh, at the time. We've got to put Giroud on, no questions asked. But when it gets later in the game, I do wonder whether they want to bring on maybe Zuma, somebody else, maybe even Kovacic for Jorginho. He's not exactly a replacement. He's a bit more attacking, but it depends all on how the game goes. But for Chelsea, stay as they are for now, bring Ziyech and Giroud on at some point.
Is it 5 subs?
5 subs, yeah.
Just take off that front 3, bring on Pulisic, Giroud and Ziyech, and then just whack on Willy Caballero at centre-half.
I don't think you'd do that in a UCL final.
I would.
Unless you were 5-0 up, then maybe.
Abraham had his bib on. Is he really not on the bench? Or is he just is he sat behind them all? Because I saw him in the tunnel.
He's not on the bench tonight. Let me just make sure, because I'm on the Champions League website.
He must just be sat with them.
Not on the bench tonight. He must have just made the trip. Nice little weekend holiday for Tammy Abraham.
Is there any
gotten away?
Much like Abraham, is there any notable omissions on the City bench? I don't think there is there? Where you go? Oh, surprised he's not even on the bench.
No,
I don't know.
City have so many players, in terms of how much they've spent. I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
It's Eric Garcia's last game as well, isn't it? Before he moves to Barca.
Yeah, but I don't think City fans
he's not
really
good.
I think they're quite glad he's going, to be honest.
Yeah. I was going to say, he well and truly cut ties with City fans the moment he announced he didn't want to restart. Because I remember last season he was getting a few games and then no, just leave, please.
Get out. It's just that guy.
I guess when Barcelona are hunting you, it's hard to turn him down. I mean, Aguero didn't turn him down, so I guess Eric Garcia. 2 players losing to him, potentially to Barca. Cal did put, though, before the game did start, the second half, Guardiola's last Champions League was back in 2011, of course, against Man United. And I know he won domestic titles with Bayern and City. But in my opinion, his time in Germany and England has been a failure because he was brought to both leagues, to win the Champions League and hasn't or couldn't do it in Germany and England. Would you agree with that or would you disagree?
Failure is a hard word, but definitely not what they expected. Look, Hansi Flick won it with Bayern and he was at the club 6 or 7. They had the talent there. And I'm sorry, with how much Man City have spent, I've always will stand by that it's pathetic that it's took them this long to get past the semi-final. Or a quarter-final, sorry. I think it's absolute. To spend over £1 billion and not make it past a quarter is embarrassing. But I think this is their year. Even though Chelsea are winning, I still think it's their year.
It's a big call. Chelsea 1-0 up as well.
Well, they got a free kick here, City. This could be a commentator's curse, couldn't it? If this free kick somehow finds the back of the net.
Stones head it in.
Here we go. Ball's going to be lobbed into the box. I think it's Phil Foden, and that is a shambolic cross. And guess who's there for it? N'Golo Kante, who has got inside a goal kick as well.
When I was looking at the lineups at half, one of the VAR referees' second name is Fernandez, and I don't know why it really made me. Oh my God, Fernandez, innit? Bless him. It was pointless information.
At least we know when it does come to VAR potentially at any point. At least we know Fernandez is the man who's making the decisions.
Because I'm not listening to commentary, I don't have anyone to blame. But now everything's going to be Fernandez's fault.
He's like called Jose Anguilla Fernandez. Imagine that. Imagine your second name read it 3 times.
May just married a Fernandez. He was a Fernandez, but he still wanted to take the surname just because might as well have 2.
That makes for a lovely story if it's turns out to actually be that.
So good.
Nico's in the building. How did Nico? Do you want Chelsea or Man City to win? To be honest, probably around here, I think all really going for Chelsea tonight.
I was backing the underdogs.
Whoever wins, whoever's lifting the trophy at the end.
I'm sure they'll all be happy anyway.
Here comes Man City with a chance to attack. Bernardo Silva into Gundogan. Might have a long range effort if he wants. Not going to. Plays it out to the right. Kyle Walker, who's had a pretty quiet game. I think that's the first time we've mentioned him tonight, and it's taken about 50 minutes to do so, which you could say is credit to him. But ball lofted into the box, and again, straight into Mendy's hands.
I don't know about you guys. I think with the way Chelsea are playing, it's going to take either a mistake or a moment of magic for Man City to get back into the game. With the way they're playing defensively, they're struggling to break them down. with like crosses into the box like that. So I think it's going to take something extremely special or a mistake for City to get back into it, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it needs a striker, a natural striker up top, just because then someone like Aguero or Jesus, he's probably going to be Aguero because, let's be honest, Jesus probably ain't going to have a chance to come on tonight unless he goes on the wing. I think, Aguero's still such an instinctive striker that you can break down the defence with a player of his quality.
Oof, leaves it late there, Mendes. I mean, speaking of sort of wingers, Raheem Sterling is politely done F-all. He had that one early chance when he went to go for the back heel. But apart from that, at least you've seen who's on the right is Mahrez, isn't it? Mahrez just tries to cut inside. De Bruyne, I mean, bless him, he's not a natural striker and stuff. And Foden's been a little bit invisible, but Raheem Sterling is another one. It's going to be a commentator's curse now, isn't it? He hasn't done defense. I've seen him do more defending. It was like, when the ball got played into midfield to James and Sterling was the first one back. I've seen him do more defending than he's done attacking in this game, and that probably attests to how good Chelsea have been that first half. But
I think, to be fair, Reece James has played very well as well on that side.
I think he's played brilliant. I would probably put him up there for maybe a man of the match shout in terms of the game so far. I think he's played quality. He's kept Sterling quiet. I think, to be fair, I don't think Mahrez has had a great game either. I think obviously he's played better than Sterling, but the whole front three right now, it's not often you can say that De Bruyne has done nothing in a game. It's not often. And the one game you want him to turn up as well is tonight, and he's not had a chance to do anything.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of players, obviously, in this Man City team that haven't been at this stage before, ever, in terms of this late on in the Champions League. So maybe it's a case of that as well, in terms of play. Maybe they're all playing the occasion in that sense. But there's still a long way to go. I'm not going to count City out yet, but I agree with you. Just think James is up there for man of the match, but I'm finding it hard to look past Kante at the moment for man of the match.
Nico asked us in the chat, we were saying about it earlier, do you think Pep's been a little bit stubborn not bringing a CDM on? Yes, I do think he has been.
What a challenge.
And the man of the moment, the man of the match shout, N'Golo Kante again with another tackle. And then Carl says, if Chelsea can improve a little from this season and get a few players into the team to get stronger, they can challenge for the Prem title next season, which realistically speaking, I guess if you were to look at the form since Tuchel's come in, they probably would be up there in the top, probably top four minimum to fight for the title. Because City did drop a lot of points at the back end.
They did. To be fair, wasn't long ago that Conte won it with Chelsea. To be honest with you, it wasn't that long ago. And credit whoever picks up Antonio Conte this summer, fair play, because that man is a brilliant manager. And I feel harsh for the way it ended at Chelsea. He just felt like people weren't a fan of his style of play. It got results, but a bit like Sarri. He won the Europa League. He was out next because you just couldn't find the right one.
I really want to see him go to Real Madrid and get Real Madrid playing a 3-5-2. Alaba, Ramos, Eder Militao. Yeah, Varane. You've got a whole host of centre-backs that could play in a 3-5-2. Yeah. Get Hakimi back if they needed to.
Yeah, he's got PSG, innit?
Is he?
Yeah, rumoured to go to PSG for 60 mil.
It's rumoured. I was going to say, it's not set in stone.
No.
I guess with the manager merry-go-round right now, who knows if Poch is even going to be there.
Yeah. If they say 60 million, Real Madrid can match it and he has to go to Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. That's in the contract. So basically,
which is a great contract.
Real Madrid it's like on Reguilon. Real Madrid can buy Reguilon back. I mean, to be fair, I don't think they're going to get that money for Reguilon at the moment. He's not played a great first year, but yeah.
Imagine if Poch returns, by the way, to Tottenham. Imagine.
It's just
how
so many
strange that would be.
We saw it with Allegri. We're back at you. It never felt right, did it, Allegri going anywhere? It didn't feel right. I always pitched him for jobs, but it just makes sense to go back to Juve.
I was just looking at my bets I put on before the game. I had Foden to have 2+ shots targets in 90 minutes. Okay, that was 5-1, so thingy. I had both teams to score in both halves. 2+ corners each team in each half and 20+ booking points. That's gone. I have either team to win on penalties and I have Werner to score a header and Manchester City to score a penalty.
Well, here's your chance for the Werner header.
I was going to say, here we go, whip it in.
Might have the chance here for
wish it into existence. Come on. Imagine.
I mean, if they get a second here, then City are in some real trouble.
That's when Pep has got, if it does go in, that's when Pep has really got to man up.
Ball's going to be lobbed in. Comes towards the near post. Doesn't get to anyone. And there was a little chance maybe for City to counter-attack. Ball comes to Kante and he just hoofs the ball away. And credit to him because gets it all the way out of play. And done really, really well there.
You can't hate him. You really can't. We'll find out live next week. Doing a watch-along. Doing that watch UFC as well.
No, because it's on box office. I have to pay 20 quid. Oh,
is that on his mace flask as well?
No, it's just a clash of heads. It looked pretty... It just looked like he kind of blocked off the run, but they instead of blocking it off shoulder to shoulder, they blocked it head to head. Which... Is he going to get yellowed?
No.
Ref's got the card out.
Yeah, he is. He is getting yellowed for that.
Never mind. Take it back.
I will give credit to the ref because so far, I guess there's not been much going on, but he's refed it well. There's not been many stoppages in play.
And to be fair to Rudiger, he knew he were going to come out on top because he's got an extra bit of protective material.
That is definitely a yellow card. I didn't see it at first.
That's what I said. He blocked it off, but then went head. Did he go head to head or head to shoulder?
I thought it was like chest to chin.
No, Rudiger's down.
That's a prime lead blocker, though, isn't it? Look at that. Hello, Rodri. Warming up. Could come on. Who else is that? Is that Jesus? Yeah.
Jesus as well, yeah, warming up. I wonder if we're going to get a Etienne Capoue situation here where the player just stays down so they can't get the yellow card until they get up. There you go. Referee's can help him up and give him the yellow card.
That is shit ass. Did you see Etienne Capoue's thing? Where he went, he's in the own. I was fighting for promotion to Premier League. I am now a Europa League winner. It was so good. Fair play to Etienne Capoue.
Well, it just added to the amount of people that left England and won trophies. That thing about Arsenal, like Coquelin won one after leaving Arsenal. De Bruyne doesn't look in good nick here, to be honest.
Well,
and I think he's going to come off.
Walker stayed with him for a while. Yeah.
I think he's coming off.
That's a big
Who'd you bring on? That's the question.
Aguero and then Rodri. Oh, no, you don't even need to bring striker on, do you?
I probably
It depends what he's planning.
That's where he's playing, isn't he? He's playing as the false nine.
I think he'll bring on Rodri, but I wouldn't be surprised if he brings on maybe Aguero or Jesus, but I'd go Rodri.
See what happens here with him.
I say we're guaranteed a bit of stoppage time, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to get a good chunk of stoppage time. But I guess this is not what you want to see. If you're a City fan,
saying it's going to be night over.
Yeah, no.
And Jesus is coming on, so recognised striker up top now, which is a good decision. But it kind of is a big blow here for City, isn't it? Because you're losing your most creative midfielder.
But it brings them back some structure, which I think has been missing all night. They've finally got a striker. Not that I'm going to say it's a blessing in disguise, because De Bruyne is an unbelievably talented player, but I think they might be all right. I was going to say, they keep trying to lift him up. And they finally get him up, but he doesn't know. I'd just take him off.
Yeah.
It's too much of a risk, I think, at this point.
Yeah, he looks...
Oh, wow. He looks like he's been on a night out on the piss.
No,
he looks rough.
BT thought fight night were next week. They'll be loving bruises like that. Jesus, right?
proper shiner underneath his eye as well.
I mean, you don't want to come off. He's massively upset with that, but
it's not the way in a Champions League final to go off with like a concussion as well.
I thought Walker got a yellow card in his hand. Then I was a bit confused for a second. What's Walker doing with the cards?
Wait, was that Jesus that went past?
That's Jesus, yeah.
I thought they were making another sub. That's why I was like, oh god, no, but it's Jesus.
So Jesus comes on for De Bruyne. A bit of confusion there. He was coming on, and then he's had to come off again. But Is this De Bruyne? No, I'm about to say, I thought for a second, surely not De Bruyne is trying to get back on the pitch again. There's no chance he'll go on. But Sterling is now the captain, which is a really interesting choice. Obviously proves how much trust Pep's got in Sterling to play him tonight. And obviously for him to be the chosen next in line to become the captain is a big call. But got a free kick here from that yellow card, which Rudiger got. Ball's lobbed into the box. Gets it towards the near post. Going to come in towards Raheem Sterling. Shots blocked by James. There's calls for a handball. Referee, I think, has made the indication for no handball, but he will get checked by VAR just in case. And I think he just slapped Sterling on the arse as well.
I'd be giving yellows to City players for that.
Yeah.
I'd be giving yellows out to all the City players for that.
By the way, love that from the ref. Look at his reaction immediately. Immediately waves it, and then he's just screaming at the City players saying no.
Yeah,
it comes off his stomach. There's nothing he could do.
Also, I never blame.
Oh God, there is a.
Well, it's over already.
Yeah, did you see the thingy bar potential? I was like, what?
I never blame players for complaining, saying a thingy, because anyone does it. Anything, you're gonna go ref. Why is that still up?
I don't know.
No,
why is that still up?
It's over.
Thank you. Check over.
They were just saying when the trade was over.
Do you know when we watched that audio on BT are late to put the score on and you're questioning whether it's a goal or not? That's just happened again.
Here comes Foden, goes for long range effort, and I think that's gone flying all the way back to Manchester. That is a really poor shot from Phil Foden. And there's still protests over Reece James's supposed handball, but you can clearly see there's not much you can do in that situation, and it's not a handball whatsoever. And the referee obviously makes the point.
He says it without power as well, doesn't he? Says that with force, instead of his chest.
Thing is, he's got to. I guess when he's getting so many players swarming him, he's got to show the command and fair play to him, because I think we've seen so many times in the past when players. I'm not going to obviously tarnish teams with the same brush, but I think teams like Real Madrid and Barca do it a lot, where they'll just run to the referee, swarm him, and complain about certain decisions. And I guess it's good that he's got the authority tonight to go out there and make sure that when he's going to make a decision, nobody challenges him and makes him change his mind.
Who are there from Manchester City? Christian Pulisic having a drink of water, more than likely will come on.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long before he comes on. I think they'll make a change up top, bring on a bit more pace, see if they can get a second goal and kill this game off, because I really don't think right now they've played well, have they, City? Nothing's really changed since the first half. And I know you've got to give a few minutes to Jesus to get him a feel into the game. But as you said perfectly, KL, they just can't seem to break down the City back line. It's Chelsea back line, sorry.
No, you are right. And to be fair, this Chelsea front three haven't been in the game as much either. And I say this now as Havertz comes forward, but I think bringing on Pulisic, some fresh legs, gives them something a little bit different, and much more pace at the top end of the pitch.
And if I'm right in saying, you two correct me if you're wrong if you think it, I think if Chelsea do win this game, he will be the first ever American to win the Champions League. I think I saw the US men's national team tweet out today, which is a huge thing in the landscape of American football.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if anyone like back in the days at European Cup or anything. Got no idea. I was going to say that's before my time, mate. No idea.
I was just thinking like more recently. That no.
Yeah, I think it's right, because I know Chelsea had tweeted out something. I think Matthew McConaughey had sent him a video, obviously saying, "Come on, Chelsea and Pulisic tonight. We want you to get your UCL trophy." So, as you said, for American football, it's massive, because it's not often, is it? You see an American in a UCL final.
No, they've come a long way though. To be fair, is that Fernandinho coming on?
Here comes Fernandinho.
Josh, by the way, are you okay? I feel like throughout the night you've just been swallowed by the dark.
Well, that's natural lighting. I can't change that. Let me go and turn my light on.
The thing is, because your screen started off green, but obviously as the lights come in, it just transformed.
Yeah, it's the reflection of the light from the TV. It's every time it changes camera angles and stuff. It just gets.
I like it.
I'm gonna turn my light on. Give me 2 seconds.
No. But Bernardo Silva obviously coming off there. He's been another non-factor tonight. You look at the midfield. There's not been many factors, if we're being 100% honest. But Bernardo Silva's finally been replaced by an out-and-out holding midfielder Fernandinho's in that holding position. Rodri, I feel, has been a little bit hard done by, but we speak about maybe lack of experience in big moments. Fernandinho has been another, I think, an underrated player, Fernandinho, for how long he's been in the league and how well he's done.
Yeah.
When did he move to City? It was early on, weren't it?
Yeah, he came from Shakhtar ages ago.
I think it was 2013, 2012.
Yeah.
He's been here for a long, long time, and I think he's the next City legend. I think when he does leave the club, he will go down as another one of the City greats, because what he's done for that club and for how cheap they got him as well, he's unbelievable.
In the early stages of the Man City sort of thing, they had a lot of misses in terms of like Santa Cruz, the likes, Robinho. They had a few misses.
Yeah.
But they hit on Fernandinho. I think that was one of the best deals the club's ever made, and I'm not even joking.
100%. Carl's put in the chat, I hate City to the core, but that was a low blow by Rudiger with the foul not too long ago. And he says, I hate when players do what the City players did, does my head in when they obviously go up to the referee.
Yeah.
And
I think I'll be honest. I think Rudiger didn't mean to injure him. He just tried to block his runoff, and it's just where his head was. I don't think I understand what you're saying. I don't think it was anything malicious from Rudiger. I think he just wanted to block his runoff as Jorginho goes down.
Yeah, Fernandinho just went for the ball, stamp to the false on purpose. Timo Werner.
Oh.
Okay.
No, it's Pulisic. It's Pulisic, Josh. Come on, man. Settle, lads.
I
Okay.
thought we were going to get a 25-minute, I was about to say cameo. It would be a full-length feature
short film.
Like, yes, it'd be a full-length feature film for Giroud, wouldn't it, with a 25-minute appearance?
Do you think Havertz goes at the number 9 position up top, or do you think Pulisic goes up there?
I'd go Havertz.
I would have gone Havertz. But it looks on paper, it looks like Pulisic is the one as the front man. I guess if he can get at them with pace, with a fresh player on the pitch, get him on the counter-attack.
Oh, missed a kick by Rudiger there, and Gundogan can spray it. It's a poor pass, but managed to keep it under the spell. Sorry, Rowan, you keep going. Go ahead, my friend.
He just has to be careful. It's a couple of times now, since he got that yellow card on De Bruyne, he's tried to push out, put the pressure on Chelsea, and it's either left him exposed or very close to a yellow card, a second yellow. So it's just a bit risky.
Well, I'm looking at the stats of the game. We've had 4 shots in the match. 3 of them have been on target. 1 of them has been off target. 2 for obviously Chelsea. 1 of them on target for Man City. 1 of them was Sterling's on target. Then obviously Kai Havertz was 1 of them for the goal. 1 shot off target. Manchester City have only had 1 shot in the game. That was the 1 shot on target from Raheem Sterling. They've had no other shots in the match, which just proves how well Chelsea have played this game out. And what do you do? Are we calling for Aguero?
Is that offside or is it a throw-in? I think they might need to go 2 up top at one point, but still 20 minutes. They don't want to rush anything.
No. The thing is, you obviously don't want to rush it, but if you, let's say with 5 minutes left, are you giving enough time for Aguero to get into the striker to get into the game as well? I don't envy Pep's position. Don't get me wrong, I don't envy, because it is a tough decision at the end of the day. Because it'll leave you very exposed, but...
Oh, it might be a chance.
But they're in now.
Foden driving forward. Lovely work. Ball played into the middle and very nearly.
Good defending.
Risky defending from Aspie, but very good defending. And you can see the space when the ball is played to Mahrez. He's onside. You can see the run that's been made on the near post on the left-hand side from Gundogan. Good defending from the captain for Chelsea. And now there's a chance here as Pulisic goes down.
That's got to be a yellow. Oh, wait.
No.
What?
No, he just fell over.
Why did he run over to him? That's what I don't understand.
Probably just checking he was all right.
Yeah, I am. Good, fine.
But this time the referee will stop play for this one.
It seemed really bizarre that he didn't say foul, but then ran over to him, and this will be a massive blow.
I mean, the boos were loud then, because Aspilicueta immediately called for the thing, so either he's a very good actor or he genuinely is injured here. That's what happens.
Oh, knee to knee. Bit of knee to knee.
No one likes a bit of knee.
That's...
He should be all right, I think, to continue.
Do you know when like you bang your elbow or something and it like vibrates through you? You go, oh, hold on.
There's Hudson-Odoi getting ready potentially to come on at some point.
Coming on at centre half. It would be Zoom, wouldn't it? Realistically,
he's been a bit of a forgotten man. He's been a bit.
I was going to say in terms of the it's all right in terms of Hudson-Odoi's a forgotten player. Yeah, he's not had a great time, has he, at Chelsea under Tuchel? He's not got much game time whatsoever under Tuchel. Do you think maybe he needs like a loan move somewhere?
Well, he was going to Bayern, wasn't he? Or it seemed that way. And then Frank came in charge, seemed to promise him game time, or seemed to, say obviously there was this youth movement. I think he got injured, so that kind of screwed that up. But yeah, I think he needs to go away on loan for a bit. I don't think he's got as amount of minutes as he'd like.
Rowan, the research has been done. Kyle,
I knew I could trust Kyle. I knew I could trust him.
Jovan Korovsky was the first American to win the Champions League in 1997, or the Pulisic or Stefan would have been the second. So that statement was a lie.
I forgot about Stefan. Because he just sits on the bench. Bless him.
Well, no, he played in the final, didn't he? And made the mistake. That's why I feel bad for him. I just think Pep's that type of person to never play him again because he made one error.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's the forgotten man.
But also, they do have Edison, who is a very, very good goalkeeper.
Here's Fernandinho inside the box. Now to Raheem Sterling. Can they get a chance on goal? We haven't had a shot in this game for Manchester City in the second half, and now this might be the chance. Ball played to Riyad Mahrez on the right. Goes to take on his man. Lovely ball, but it's headed away by Christensen. And City here, with 20 minutes left, just starting to pile a bit of pressure on Chelsea.
Chelsea just staying resilient.
I mean, look at that. Both teams have worked very hard in this game. Both very similar distances that they've run in the match, which just shows you how tight this game is. And of course, we know City have a very heavy pressing side. Yeah,
both around, was it 80 kilometres covered?
Yep.
And only 79 of them were in N'Golo Kante. That's really impressive.
Maybe give 10 of them to Reece James.
Yeah, give 10 of them to G. Go on.
Ball lobbed into the box. Poor from Zinchenko.
Kante, come on.
And Kante gets the ball back.
I would hate to play it. He just seems like he's everywhere, doesn't he?
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. He takes on his man. He hasn't really got anybody there. He's going to play it. Could be a chance here. Brilliant opportunity. Goal. Oh, he's missed it.
Was it not good in?
I thought it was a goal. And that was the chance. And that was the chance to seal the deal. And Pulisic knows it. He stamps the ground in pure frustration. And it all starts from N'Golo Kante. The man shifts defence to attack. And it's just as he's got to take the shot, he scuffed it.
Oh, what a bloody effort as well. He's got...
I thought that was in.
Yeah, I think he's got to do a little bit better there. Does Timo Werner put that away because he's a more clinical striker?
Maybe offside.
I think. Brilliant. Yeah. Great.
He's tried to dink him, but he's dinking and then he's tried to put it in the bottom left as well.
Well, that might be, in about 20 minutes' time, a moment where we sat here and we could be saying, is that the opportunity that Chelsea needed to put away in this game? Because it might be a chance here for City now. It's going to be Phil Foden. Lovely ball. No one's there for it. Header away again by Christensen. And I wonder if Pep will make that change in the next 2 minutes, knowing that they've pretty much been let off the hook.
Yeah.
That went in.
It's insane because for all... like Man City, Chelsea have had easily more clear-cut opportunities in this game.
Oh, 100%. And there's not been many, but they've had much more chances to press them, push forward. And when they haven't had chances, I think this is what City have done for most of the game. Just this now. Patiently trying to build up. Aguero's coming on. Patiently trying to build up and not really doing anything. But now could be the chance. Here's Raheem Sterling. Keeps the ball in play. Oh, back heel from Jesus, and he just can't get the touch. And that was a real opportunity.
Wow.
And I think he just kept
first
it
chance Sterling's had.
Yeah, second chance apart from the early one. But yeah, hopefully this sparks something in City. Obviously, I know most of but if City get a one back into this game,
Make very interesting. Might even get a bit of extra time and penalties, maybe. Malcolm says, imagine having Aguero on your team and having sit and watch on the bench. Well, he's coming on. Don't you worry, Malcolm. He's on his way. And City fans, if they need a hero, they need it now. And it's probably going to have to be Aguero.
Will they be coming on at 1-1 or 1-0, though, is the question. Because City's pressure's coming.
Yeah,
Never mind.
He's just fell off. But if for oftentimes they've relied on Aguero, and they've never relied on him apart from the QPR game more than they do tonight.
Yeah, this is Aguero's chance to, well, repeat history, isn't it? Really, potentially with the way that this game's going. They're exactly the same as the QPR match. They were down and out of that game. They were losing it. They needed somebody to be the hero. That's exactly what he did. He's a little bit older and he's a little bit slower, but he's still got the mental capability as a striker to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, we saw it against Everton, didn't we, with the hat-trick he bagged in. I know it's Everton and they're absolutely shite, but when you come up against Jordan Pickford, it's not hard to put the ball in the back of the net now, is it?
Don't say that before the Euros.
Yeah.
Well, we have Sam Johnston, Aaron Ramsdale. Stick one of those in.
Oh, that's poor. That's poor.
And now we'll see the change. 15 minutes for Aguero to be, well, to just, what's the best way to say it? I'd say put his name in Man City folklore, but he's done it time and time again. Just regiment it even more. Yeah, rewrite history.
Repeat history.
And it's going to be Sterling who comes off, and the captain comes off.
I mean, not been great tonight, to be fair to Sterling. I don't think he's got involved in the game. A minute ago, he got the beating of James, which he's not had very often. But I think it's the right decision. 2 up top, or is he going to stick with the 1 up top and Jesus on the wing, do you think?
2 up top, that looks to me. Yeah. Foden looks like he's gone to the left. Sterling and Aguero in the middle. It looks like they've got, it looks like they've gone for like a 4 up top, 2 wingers, 2 strikers, 2 in the middle. And then pretty much Diaz and Stones are going to be really high up the pitch. It's gung-ho football now, isn't it, for City?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be relentless. I feel it's going to be defensive attack. And if you're Chelsea, maybe nick some on the counter. That's the only real opportunity I see you having.
That's going to be a corner.
City will earn a corner.
I'm not even joking. I would actually, and obviously I'm a big fan of Drew. I'd bring him on for set pieces. Someone to head the ball away, someone to clear it. Get him as a deep lying striker and just have him hoof the ball away if you need him to.
Who would you take off, though? Because Havertz
I think he's
can do that, though. True. But Havertz can do what I suppose fresh legs.
Yeah. Mahrez whips the ball in.
I love how you went, Havertz can do what Giroud do. Josh's look, no one can do what Giroud does.
Giroud is different. He's his own person. He's got his own qualities. Oh, man. Hopefully.
I don't think it's going to be a golden moment if Giroud does come on. Just wow.
Well, I mean, if they win it, I'd assume his shirt's coming off, so there will be a wow moment when that shirt comes off. Oh, man. 13 minutes.
Chelsea got left. Christensen, Pulisic.
That's it.
Is that Giroud enough?
I think they'll use it. Yeah, I think they'll use them in phases. I think they'll spread the free subs out and evenly distribute them to waste some time. Because remember, we are going to get a few minutes of additional time because of De Bruyne's injury. So you could say there'll probably be about another 15 minutes of this game left. There's one of them.
Kovacic coming on.
We're now down to 2.
Oh no, mate. Josh Pal.
2 left. I think he will come on. Who do you think comes off for Kovacic?
Jorginho?
Yeah, maybe. Or do you take off one of the front 3 and then change your shape a little bit and maybe add another midfield? Maybe you do take off Havertz and just add another midfielder just to kind of be even more compact if that was even possible for Chelsea.
Oh, look at this run. Brilliant from Walker. Just didn't do enough, but that's going to be a goal kick.
Again. Oh, is that De Bruyne?
Sporting a towel cape.
That sounds a bit worried because he did come back out and we're watching the game. For them to go back.
Be worrying for Belgium as well, potentially. I don't think it'd be anything too serious, but...
Oh, it's Mount.
Maybe Mount's off.
It is one of the front three, so I think it will be a change of shape, but not the one I expected.
No, I would have expected him to come off, but then I guess, has he done much in the last 15, 20 minutes?
Credit. I don't think many of the front three shall.
Yeah, are they going 5-3-2?
Maybe 5-4-1. I don't even. I mean, probably 5-3-2, but I think Havertz will drop deeper.
Yeah, Havertz and Pulisic up front, then Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, then the back five, or 3-5-2.
Here's Pulisic. Oh, brilliant from Pulisic.
Well,
hasn't got many players in the box. He's going to slow it down. Here's Kante. And they're just going to slow it down, as you'd expect. 10 minutes left of this game. Here's N'Golo Kante. Plays it to Pulisic. Tries to feed the ball to Kovacic, but passes a little bit too heavy.
Fair play to Kovacic. If he continues his run, he probably gets on the end, but he's stopped because he doesn't know when to commit and not. Because when you're this late in the game, as you said, Josh, when they get in these attacking positions, they slow it, go backwards. They're happy at 1-0. They're really happy at 1-0.
It's very robotic. It's very robotic. It's probably a case now, Tuchel has said, just stick to your positions. Do not move. Do not try and press forward because, as you said, any opportunity now where City can get on the counter-attack, you do not want to concede. At this time as well, you don't want to concede with 10 minutes left because then heads will drop. And there might actually be a chance here for Chelsea. Pass too heavy, though. It's going to be Chilwell, who goes down from his own 2 feet. No,
foul.
Foul in the end, I think.
Oh, I
thought he fell over. I'll be honest, I still thought he just fallen over. But as well, just I think another thing for Chelsea is they're not trying to overcomplicate it. They're doing the simple pass every time. Clips
the heel.
Yeah.
This is where you want Giroud.
I know. Where is he, Josh?
Near post header. Could have got the winning goal in.
It's going to be Rudiger.
Yeah.
Rudiger near
De Bruyne.
Christiansen.
Do you remember the North London derby where Kane had a mask and he ripped it off against Arsenal? It's Rudiger again. He's going to rip the mask off. He's going to give it limbs. He's fine.
Here we go. Chilwell whips it in. Lovely ball. No one's there for it. Comes out to James. Edge of the box. Taking on the volley, but speculative from Jorginho.
Yeah. Not the best finisher as Jorginho, to be fair.
Hit it though, and
I mean, Chris has made a fair point. City don't even look like scoring, and that is credit to Chelsea. I don't think there's been many games this season. You could probably maybe mark down 1 or 2 games this season. This is probably one of the only games where City genuinely haven't looked like scoring at all.
No, but they've got so much talent that I feel like they only need one. That's my worry with the likes of Man City is, as much as Chelsea have been brilliant for 82 minutes, it takes 1 minute for City to turn into the City we all know. And that's my worry. Because it's been a very great defensive display from Chelsea, but how long can they keep it going? Can they last the whole 90 minutes? I hope so. What a tackle.
Oh.
2 brilliant tackles then.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what? Maybe extra time's needed for Giroud to come on. Maybe that's what we need.
We just create scenarios where Giroud needs to come on.
7 minutes. I wonder what Pep's feeling right now.
His
team have been so good or so bad?
So bad, Josh.
So bad.
So bad.
It's a good tackle. That's a great
tackle.
I mean, 7 minutes left before either Chelsea are crowned Champions League champions.
And I tell you what, and I said this to Josh when they got this far, no one would have had Chelsea in the group stage. Or even when they drew credits, they've not won it yet. I'm not even getting excited because I've got a feeling this isn't over.
Well, so let's not forget that the last Champions League final Chelsea were in, a goal went in this exact minute where Bayern Munich took the lead, and it took them till the 88th minute when Drogba scored that incredible late goal to take the game to extra time. It could happen in role reversal. You never know.
Do you think Drogba Maybe Giroud takes a Drogba role.
Maybe, but funnily enough, that was Drogba's last season before he moved to Galatasaray.
Look at this.
So the story is written for Aguero to do something similar.
So I've just seen Kyle's stat in the chat.
Here we go. Here's a stat I heard from the commentator.
Mendy. Good claim, Mendy. Good claim.
Mason Mount became the first English player to assist a goal in the Champions League final since Wes Brown did it for Ronaldo back in 2008.
It's quality company. It's quality company to be with Wes Brown.
Wes Brown. Crazy.
Oh, so that is a mental stat. No, I suppose it's not if you think about it.
Well, no, I'm surprised maybe for Liverpool. Yeah, they've got a lot. I was maybe Jordan Henderson. I was thinking maybe he got one in final, but he probably didn't.
Trent, Milner. Milner.
Just look at how compact that midfield and defence is for Chelsea. Nobody's moving. Nobody's barging. Everybody's in a position where they don't have to move forward because Chelsea are just closing the space down for City.
The only time they have moved out is when they've sort of had confidence. Rudiger's doing it so much. The only time they've pushed out of shape is when they've gone to win the ball.
Nah, too heavy that.
Good ball though. Good effort.
So close. Good ball. Really good ball over top. Kyle Walker, has been pretty invisible the first half, but the second half got a little bit more involved.
Any chance for the contract extension for Aguero? So he can go and win the UCL?
I don't think they're out this game. I refuse it until I hear that final whistle. I refuse to believe they won't get back in it.
It's famous UCL nights, isn't it? The last minute winners, last minute equalisers. I need to find out now. When was the last game where we had a late winning goal? It was probably the Ramos one.
Wasn't Ramos as an equaliser though?
Still classed as a late goal to get him back into the game.
Yeah, that's what I think we'll need tonight. Because I know someone won it in extra time from or penalties it was. I can't remember, but I do know which one you're talking about.
Look at Tuchel rallying the fans.
Look at the Chelsea fans.
How
many? 6,000? 6,000 is it?
6,000. There's 12,000 there today. 6K for both sides. I'm looking. There was a guy there with a proper fancy mustache.
Mustache watch.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, whoever was on the camera was on Birdwatch there.
No,
just
it's amazing.
Glance on the camera.
She looked so nervous. She was like this, and sorry for herself. I went. It's like suddenly went from nervous to pose for a photo sort of thing.
I tell you what, if you're a Chelsea fan, would you have sat there at the beginning of the season thinking you were going to get into an FA Cup final, you were going to get top four, and potentially be a few minutes away from winning the UCL?
No. I mean,
really
as I say, when they drew Atletico, I think people were favouring Atletico because at the time, Chelsea weren't on the greatest run of form. And I think if you'd have told them they'd be in a Champions League final and they'd win it, I don't want to say it's an underdog story because Chelsea have been at this level before. But I mean, in terms of where they've started the season to where they are now, I'm very surprised it's come this far, but it's what you like to see.
They were not favourites. In fact, I wouldn't have even put them up there in the potentially the top 8 or 9 to win it. No. I think there were multiple of the clubs ahead of them to win it.
Yeah, they had a good group, a group they should get out of, definitely. But it was after that where they were like, Atletico, you thought maybe Atletico would be too robust for them. And they managed to get through. And Porto had done well up until that point. And I don't know if you saw what Mehdi Taremi said today. He went, this could have been us if we'd have played a bit smarter. So Mehdi Taremi thinks they could have been them. So,
well, I tell you, lucky 6K fans there. I think there was a whole bunch of kids there celebrating. Can you imagine being at that age and being able to go to a UCL final, especially with the year that we've had? To be a young kid, being able to travel out to Portugal with a family or the friends or whatever they've done, to go to a final after the year we've had, and to see your team a minute away, a few minutes from lifting the trophy, it's a surreal experience.
I don't know how that's a foul on the Man City player, but not a foul on Chilwell because it was the same thing. I'm not sure, but foul on thingy. That's just harsh, wasn't it?
Well, it's It's that time of the night, isn't it? Man of the match. Who are we going for as it stands?
N'Golo Kante.
Kante.
Yeah.
Kante. We're giving it Kante. Our man of the match is Kante.
I think the fullbacks, James and Chilwell, have had a very good game. Aspilicueta as well, but no one has run the game better and more clinically than N'Golo Kante.
And to think they were going to boot him out the door as well, not too long ago. Although there might be a chance here, ball lofted into the box towards the near post, not cleared away. Could be a good opportunity. Chance here. Foden goes for the shot. He's cleared away, and eventually Chelsea get it away. A desperation as we get into the last 25 seconds, and I think we're probably going to get about 5 minutes additional time. I think that's what they're saying. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I still think it's not over. I can't do it. I still think it's not over.
We love an end. We love the ending to finals, especially when it's tight as well. The nerves. And it's 7 minutes of additional time.
What?
7 minutes.
De Bruyne was down for a good 5.
They've got 7 minutes to try and get an equalising goal and take us to extra time.
No.
Or for Chelsea to bag a second and win it.
No, that's panicking. Oh.
I thought it was fair enough.
Nervy, innit, now? Even for the neutral, it is Gundogan. Can they get a goal? I mean, they need a hero. Here's Mahrez, edge of the box. Good work from N'Golo Kante. And now there's a chance for Chelsea to hit on the break. It's a 2-on-4. Pulisic into Havertz, who goes down. Referee gives the free kick. And that's a few extra seconds on the clock.
Oh, I think he might have a bit of cramp there, Havertz might have to take a bit of a break.
Yeah.
I tell you, if Pep wants to do what Thomas Frank did, get the ref to time
beat the crap out your watch. I tell you what, Chilwell makes a mistake at first there, not getting the clearance, and it comes back in. It's good defending in the end, but it should have been 5 minutes, ref. I don't know what it's a terrible decision. It's a terrible decision.
N'Golo Kante, though.
And ball!
Was at the edge of the box, so we didn't get to see much there because the replay was too busy going on that, and Kante was the edge of the box. Didn't come to anything in the end, but well, it's that time. It's that time, isn't it? I am looking now to see Aguero scored that unbelievable goal. What minute was it? Because I swear there was a fair chunk of time added on in that game.
Get up quick.
Oh Jesus.
That is a great challenge by Gundo.
Nervy, innit?
It's really nervy. Good ball onto the wing now. It's an early ball in. Headed away by Christensen.
I wonder if Mendy needs to be a bit more authoritative there and tell him he's got it. But Christensen heads it clear. Walker looks like they're lining up for a long throw. Not a massive team, Man City.
They have to slap on the bench, though.
Aguero scored his goal in the 94th minute of additional time. We're 2 minutes away from not Fergie time, Aguero time.
Ouch! Thank you.
It's cleared away.
And Edison is now at the halfway line. Let's see if we can get a corner for Edison to come up. He's going to loft it into the box. Comes towards Foden. Doesn't get it in the end. It'll be Kyle Walker who gets it back. Numbers still in the box. Walker gets it back in there, but it's headed away by Kante.
This is like a defense v attack training drill at this point.
But now Kante's got it back.
Come on.
And he'll just look to slow the player down. Referee's going to give the free kick. Fernandinho fuming with the ref, but Kante will go down and he'll waste a few seconds on the clock as Tuchel gets the fans going. He wants the Estadio de Dragão. He wants it bouncing.
I love it. I love the passion.
It's nice to see Tuchel actually be able to stand up this year because he was on icebox last year, wasn't he? Because of his leg.
Yeah.
He's actually able to get up and do stuff.
I wonder if in 4 minutes it is a UCL tendency in the final. I wonder if the cameraman's going to find a crying child if whoever's lost. It's always a tendency in the final. They find at least one child is in tears.
I can't do this, man. I'd hate to be my team in the final. I can't even handle not my team being in it.
Yeah, it's Man City, though, your favourite side in the world.
We are about to hit Aguero time.
Stand over at ball, Havertz, man. Get
Aguero
over
time's gone. Boosh, ball's lofted long.
3
minutes left. Yeah, he's gone. No,
No, there you go.
No, because if he was in the 93rd, it'll count as the 94th.
Yeah, I know what you do. Yeah,
that's why Rowan, I think we're a bit confused then.
I think he was waiting for it to hit 4.
Yeah.
And then it would have been over.
I'd be very surprised if Edison kicked it up with 1 second and Aguero had got it in somehow. Ball's lofted in. Comes towards Fernandinho. Ref's called it back for the foul, and the ball hits the side netting.
Still, it's the side netting. How have you missed, honestly?
And John Stone, I tell you what, I wonder if this will be bad for the Euros. We're going to have half an England squad buzzing and half an England squad dejected.
Reece James turns up on that first day checking into a hotel with winner's medal or something.
Yeah.
John, have you got one? No, you don't. I'm first. Thank you, John.
Maybe we don't call up John Stones and we take someone like a Tyrone Mings, so we don't have to worry about him being upset for the rest of the season.
I'd like if they both arrived at the same point. He goes, guys, where do I put my Champions League? John, where do you put... Oh.
Ball's put out of play by Mendy.
There's still time.
We want a corner. We want a corner just so Edison can come up. He's going to hoof it long. Well, that's a shocking ball.
Yeah, I was going to say that even if it was on time, I don't think that was an unreal. Like the length he gets on some of these passes from Edison, he really is like the deepest playmaker you've ever seen.
I mean, Kyle, did you say imagine Tuchel may win the Champions League with downhearted Chelsea players, but couldn't do it with the big-headed PSG players who laid down big time?
There could be a chance. Taking it way too far. He's trying to
but
take on his man Jesus. He did all right, but he just took it on too far, and we're down to the last minute and 10 seconds. We're throwing. Kyle Walker's going to hit long into the box. Walker throws it. Tries to get towards Stones. It comes down. Fernandinho, edge of the box, lofted in and over by Riyad Mahrez.
It was lofty,
and that is probably that.
No. Not yet. Not a whistle blows, Josh, baby, sir. Not a whistle.
That surely means that Chelsea are going to be taking the title.
No, Josh, I'm muted, Josh. Josh, stop.
Should we just do that for you?
There's ages left, lads. There's so much time for Man City to get back into this.
25 seconds left. It's over. Surely, Tuchel. The players will be on the touchline ready.
Left, Josh.
That's Chelsea's ball.
Yeah,
You're blind, man.
They've had 1 shot on target. I think it's done. The champagne's out. Abramovich has got the cash in the back pocket. He's ready. Ball hoof long. All the way to the keeper. Might be over him. Oh, it's not. And surely now that's...
Pick it up.
They've done it.
It's over.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Chelsea have won it. They've got the Champions League. And a side which started the season with Lampard and dreams of top 4 has now got the UCL, and Tuchel's done it.
And it never seemed in doubt. I was never worried that Man City were going to get back into that game at any point. But I mean, in terms of generally, they didn't create anything. Chelsea dominated the whole game. Brilliant game plan. Tuchel, 3 in a row for the man. And they are Champions League winners.
Wow. And Giroud's got the UCL medal.
Oh, to be fair, I do feel bad for Aguero. I genuinely do.
I mean, let's put it aside. What a season it was for Man City to get to the final, and obviously for one player specifically in Aguero, his career at Manchester City comes to an end with defeat, and that's the first time this season they haven't scored in the Champions League. The second time this season. Do you know who they didn't score against?
Porto.
At their exact stadium. That's 2 times this season they haven't scored at this Stadio de Dragao.
And honestly, you've got Tuchel in his head. Mehdi Taremi's in the red. It's bloody wonderful. But no, in all seriousness, Chelsea were not the favourites to even get close to winning this tournament. And they've been brilliant throughout the whole thing. And tonight, the better team won. As much as I'd love to say it, I really do love it. But a better team won.
Yeah.
So Aguero will win it next year with Barca. That would be so funny, by the way, if he does win it with Barca. Can't do it at City, but he does it easily with Barca.
I tell you what, again, how much credit to Thomas Tuchel, genuinely. To convert this side which didn't look great at the start of the year, and to get to a final, they lost to Leicester due to a stunning goal. Not much to do about it, but to win the Champions League and get top 4, fair play to Thomas Tuchel, brilliant manager, and a fair play to a Chelsea team that were outsiders from the beginning.
And gets a deserved UCL medal as well, which he's probably been so longing for in his career. And Kaz put in the chat, Chelsea won, haha City, and Pep you trash. Massive congratulations to Tuchel and all at Chelsea, fully deserved. And people thought City were going to win the quadruple this season.
Josh, and Rowan as well, how much do you think that decision from Pep at the start to mix it up, no midfielder defensively, I mentioned it at the top of the show that I thought it'd be a worry. Do you think it was maybe one of the key reasons they couldn't get anything going? But when they brought one on, they still couldn't get anything going, to be fair.
Too little, too late. Look how late they left. Look at the goal. First of all, it was probably because there wasn't a Rodrigo Fernandinho there. Yes, I think when Aguero or Jesus came on and Rodrigo, they didn't think, but you saw in that final 5 minutes, the momentum went to Manchester City. And they did look like and take it, and it just makes you wonder if Pep didn't change up, if he just stuck with what has clearly worked for Manchester City this season. They've won the league. Just if he didn't change it, it's always going to be if buts and maybes. But if De Bruyne didn't go off, because sometimes he's a player who can create magic out of nothing. But at the end of the day, N'Golo Kante was probably the best player on that. Was the best player on that pitch tonight, and he's the reason I think Chelsea have won the Champions League final.
I don't think Houdini could have made any fucking magic on that pitch for Chelsea tonight. For City, sorry, I genuinely think the game was lost at the first whistle. I think a lot of this tonight is going to be on Pep's head, and I think when you do go on Twitter, on City's Twitter, there's going to be a lot of fans probably saying it's Pep's fault. I think the decision... Hey, there's one crying. I think the decisions he made, the lack of the striker, I think might have cost him a little bit tonight. I think more than anything, it was the holding DM. Really, really missed out on that tonight. And the one player that I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get man of match, as we said before, N'Golo, the holding midfielder for Chelsea, which City could have had a holding midfielder in their team, will probably be the man of the match. And I think tonight, for Man City, it's back to the drawing board, and it's going to be another season where they're going to have to try and fight for the Champions League. And let's not forget, I think this is probably City's best chance they're going to have to have won the Champions League for a long time. I think Real Madrid are going through a rebuilding process. Barca are going through a rebuilding process. Bayern Munich are going to get stronger than ever. Chelsea, Liverpool, they're all getting stronger. And I think that was City's best chance of winning it. I really do.
I think they will come back. Look, they've got a bank account that is endless. They're going to invest so much more money to try and win the thing. You know, it may take them $3 billion, but they're willing to do it. So I do think we will see them come back soon. But as you said, Josh, tonight this was going to be the year for Man City, and even the final, a lot of people writ Chelsea off, maybe wrongly so, but an unbelievable performance by the London team.
The scenario fit City because it was Aguero's last game. The scenario fit it to be an Aguero goal that won it for them. They win the title. They get the treble for the season, and everything was going to play into their hands. But as I said, the way that Tuchel's done it, the way that he's gone out there and got this team from, as I said earlier, from a team that are only thinking about top 4, top 6, to a team that have the confidence to go out there and win, to get top 4, to get to an FA Cup final, to win the Champions League in the first season. He has put himself into Chelsea folklore, I think, already. He's done a Di Matteo. It only took him 6 months to do it as well, and fair play to him.
Yeah, and fair play to the likes of Havertz as well. Not had the greatest season, you know. He didn't come in, and people were calling him, annoyingly, I always annoys me, people were calling him a flop within 6 months, but tonight, they all knew what they were doing. And I think overall, what won them the game tonight was structure and everybody playing the way the manager wanted them to play. And they were absolutely brilliant. Man City, as we said, never looked like scoring, never looked like troubling Edward Mendy tonight. And I tell you what, that's the easiest medal he'll pick up because I don't think he had to make a save.
Yeah, and one thing as well, we get a very interesting UEFA Super Cup. Chelsea Villarreal. That's going to be quite a feisty game to start the season. Unai Emery versus Tuchel.
And two teams, the best thing they've got is structure. We talked about it with Villarreal. The way they play, you can see it's easily sometimes a 4-4-2 and they line up like that. I don't know if it's made for the best final in terms of if they both just stay in the structure and it ends 0-0. But I think it's a good UEFA Super Cup.
Yeah, and look, this again, it'll be one of those games where I think a lot of people are looking and will say it wasn't a great final. This is now the second All English final that was not the best, but I think the best, as you said, the best team won. The best team got over the line at the end, and credit to them because, you know, as we said before, if you were a Chelsea fan at the beginning of the season, you would have never expected them to be here today at the final, lifting the trophy. And credit to them, fair play.
Go on, mate. Go on.
No, go on. Man's about the interview, so go on.
Because he's on the interview, that's what I'm saying. And in terms of a leadership tonight as well, I wonder if Man City didn't really have that kind of leader. Whereas with Azpilicueta, he's been absolutely brilliant. And he marshalled that back five. I don't think they put a foot wrong, any of them. The midfield didn't put a foot wrong. The attack didn't put a foot wrong. As far as the performance goes, there's not much more perfect than the way Chelsea played tonight.
And it could have been more. You look at the opportunity. I think Werner had one opportunity. Pulisic, when he came on, he had the opportunity when he could have dinked Edison. Didn't go in. Like I said, the hell resilient. I mean, it's great. Kai Havertz swearing on English TV. English YouTube, really. But yeah, it's Azpilicueta there. He is their veteran player, but you just see what I think this entire team means to him. They've got an edge saying this guy's a superstar, and it shows how much faith that this team has in their players. Even Timo Werner, Tuchel never strayed away. He put Timo Werner there. Yes, and they scored when Werner was on the pitch. Werner may have not got involved, but he had faith. Look at Giroud there with his sexy haircut as well.
Get the shirt off.
And then it'll come down to Tuchel stuck with what he knew worked. And look, it worked. Pep changed it and it didn't.
And Willy Caballero's got a UCL medal as well, which is good to see.
And Kepa. Gilly Bilmo.
Yeah, less said about that.
Gilly Bilmo's going into Euros with a Champions League medal. Somehow.
He is the... who's the striker? Ryan Brewster. He's the Ryan Brewster of the team. Let's hope he's not wearing his medals at the hairdressers next week.
That'd be so funny.
Honestly, no. Look, as I said, wasn't a great game overall, but we have got a few more good games coming up over the next few days on the Sports Corner. Of course, we've just had City-Chelsea. Not the greatest game in the world, but congratulations to Chelsea to winning it. Tomorrow, Blackpool v Lincoln. Going to be live from 5 to 3 for that. Should be a cracker from Wembley. And then on Monday, we've got Morecambe against Newport. Newport, of course, coming off the back of that incredible semi-final win against Forest Green. That's on Monday from 5 to 3. And then we'll have a little break. We'll have the F1 and the A-League watch-alongs. And then we've got the Euros coming up. Turkey, Italy, the first game on the 11th of July from 5 to 8. And then game number 2 sees KL with Wales up against Switzerland. That's from 5 to 2 on the 12th of July. Get prepared, basically. There's a lot of streams to come with the Euros over the next few weeks. But I think all the players are just about to get the medal and are about to get the trophy lifted. And I can't believe, I just had a quick check on Google. Says Azpilicueta is only 31. Yeah. How mad is that? You'd think he'd 33, 34.
And he's been, as I said earlier, obviously they've got this new Premier League Hall of Fame or whatever, and he's got a long way to go, that sort of thing. But in terms of a Chelsea Hall of Fame, he's not Drogba, he's not Lampard, but the level of how good he's been as a servant to that club, absolutely unbelievable. And deservedly as captain, he lifts the trophy, and he bloody well deserves it as well. And this whole team does, because they played it very impressively tonight.
Very impressive indeed. And I think that is probably where we'll end our stream today. Big thank you to everybody who's been joining us over the Champions League. We've had some brilliant games over the last few months, from that incredible Porto match to the final today. We've had a whole host of games, and unfortunately that is the end for this season. We'll probably be back for potentially the qualifiers. We'll have to see what goes on and see what happens there. Maybe Slavia Prague will be in the qualifiers again. We'll have to see.
Undefeated league season. We go in the record. Yep. They go in the record books this year.
Congratulations to him as well. Big win today to go undefeated. But that is it for the Champions League. Next stream tomorrow, Blackpool versus Lincoln. You can join me for that from 5 to 3. But as for now, thank you very much, KL. Well, thank you very much, Rowan.
Thank you very much,
Josh.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much to everybody else who's done watch-alongs as well. Will, KD, Adam as well doing a few watch-alongs. Greatly appreciated indeed. But as for now, have a fantastic rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And Man City, so bad.